Oh wait, no. Oh, never mind. Test one, two, test. Two. Are you working? Microphone. Audio cutting out. Filters. How's it going? All right, hopefully you guys can hear me now. Let me turn this up. Let me turn up my gain a little bit. And let me try to add another filter on here. So, all right, for people that actually know Elden Ring, right now I'm at this boss, and it's like killing me in 2 hits. I have am I under leveled or am I just bad at the game? Like, should I try to change my stats? Or do I just accept that my stats are trash and let this guy like 2-tap me? So look, I'll show this. But actually, hold on. We need to also get some funny stuff going. So while we're getting wrecked in a game, let's listen to how people are getting wrecked in real life. No, but this is actually horrible. 32 people are confirmed dead in devastating hill country floods. So you can come back to it later once you're leveled up. Okay, let's see, is my audio output correct?
Leaders are laying out the wake of catastrophic flooding. Leaders are laying out the scale of devastation. Governor Greg Abbott was joined by Homeland Security Kristi Noem and Kirk County officials who provided an update just 2 hours ago. Officials say the death toll has now... All
right, let's play this while we get destroyed by this night. Hey Grace, happy to have you here.
Wake of catastrophic flooding, leaders are laying out the scale of devastation. Governor Greg Abbott was joined by Homeland Security Kristi Noem and Kirk County officials who provided an update just 2 hours ago. Officials say the death toll has now risen to 32. 14 of the victims were children. Authorities have not given a total number of how many people are missing. They are only reporting 27 children from Camp Mystic, and all girls camp are still missing. Search and rescue crews have saved more than 850 people. We're told many were pulled from trees, rooftops, and
Okay, it's not my best joke. I did not realize it was 32 people were dead, and you have 27 children missing. That's horrible.
Floodwaters. Governor Abbott expanded a state disaster declaration to include more counties. He also signed a federal disaster declaration, which the Trump administration says will be honored. And we have team coverage for you tonight. Amanda Henderson live in Kirk County, and Troy Kless is following the Houston ties to these floods, and Pat Kavlin tracking how much longer the rain will last. Amanda, let's start with you. I'm sure it's been a trying day for families and search teams.
I mean, you can just see, you can just hear the emotion in voices. You can see it on their faces. I think of specifically Kirk County Judge Ron Kelly when he was talking, just recalling with such heavy hearts how he was called over to the funeral home here in Kerrville, and when he walked in, he said he just walked by body bag after body bag after body bag, and that is something that we have heard from so many people out here, is just the emotion of the toll of everyone knowing someone. And today, officials from across the nation were in this building right here behind me in Kerrville to explain what comes next in both the search and rescue situation. Tonight, local, state, and federal leaders all making a promise to the Texas Hill Country after deadly, catastrophic floods swept through the area Friday morning.
We will be relentless in going after and ensuring that we locate every single person.
Texas Governor Greg Abbott adding a number of counties to a state disaster declaration and signing a federal disaster declaration
To seek the immediate and ongoing help of the federal government.
Dozens of families continue to wait for news about their loved ones who they believe were swept away when the Guadalupe River rose 26 feet in 45 minutes. Officials say they still do not know how many are officially missing.
We do not have an accurate count, and we don't even want to begin to estimate at this time.
Search and rescue operations are continuing around the clock with more than 800 people rescued and recovered.
I see one team working together.
DHS Secretary Kristi Noem confirming more help is coming for the Hill Country.
Requested more fixed-wing aircraft from Coast Guard to come and help us.
Ahead of the governor's press conference, we got the chance to ask local officials how they will address safety for the future.
I know this is so early, but there are so many people already asking what can be done to stop the loss of life. We saw 13 in San Antonio. We have seen an unknown number, but at least 27 here. They're scared.
Yeah, you know, it's a great question, and I think that's a question that we definitely need to answer at some point in time.
And that's a question that we took to Noem because there have been questions about flood sirens being brought out here to Kirk County. She said she was unaware about the situation, but she's going to look into it. Tonight, the Associated Press also reporting both AccuWeather and NWS did send out alerts ahead of the floods. In Kerrville, I'm Amanda Henderson at KHOU 11 News.
Amanda, as everyone probably around the country, your heart just goes out and you can only hope for the best. Thank you so much.
Yeah, so not good. I mean, this is just gonna get worse and worse though, because it just seems like at least as a country, we've kind of made the estimation that it doesn't really matter. Like, we've just made the decision to let people like this die in natural disasters and not actually do anything about it. And I mean, at least not do anything to prevent it. So, yeah, what were the cuts that Trump did to FEMA? What cuts did Trump make to FEMA? Rural communities were promised millions in disaster funds. Trump is ending it. Let's listen to this article. 3 minutes.
Around the country are scrambling to replace funding for infrastructure projects. That's because the Trump administration is canceling billions of dollars in grants that were already awarded. The funding was meant to prevent damage from disasters that are getting worse. Lauren Sommer from NPR's Climate Desk reports.
When it rains a lot in Depew, Illinois, Daniel Hoffert worries that people won't be able to flush their toilets. He's the village president there. And in heavy rain, floodwater pours into their sewage treatment plant.
Once it would flood into the system, it would actually shut down the whole sewage treatment plant. And then we would be in a major hurt.
That's because when the plant stops working, sewage starts backing up in the pipes, even spilling into the basements of people's houses.
Probably a good 125 of them had some infiltration of water into the basement. Not all sewer, but, water.
The problem is that Depew's sewage treatment plant is in a low-lying area, and it needs to be moved. The cost to build a new one would be about $25 million, way out of reach for the small rural community.
That's more tax money than we'll get in 25 years, maybe 50 years.
So Hoffert applied to a federal grant program run by FEMA known as BRIC, Building Resilient Infrastructure and Communities. It was started during Trump's first term. After years of working on the grant, Depew heard the money was on its way. But earlier this month, the Trump administration canceled the grant program, including grants like Depew's, which had already been awarded but not paid out yet.
It was probably within a month or two of being okay. So that's really harsh.
In a statement, FEMA says the grant program is being canceled because it's ineffective and part of an effort to root out waste and fraud. Hoffert takes issue with that.
I don't think they know what waste is. I don't think they know what fraud is. None of this, to me, is wasteful and fraud.
Depew, Illinois is one of hundreds of local governments around the country who are seeing their FEMA funding canceled. Kristen Smith, who researches disaster funding at the think tank Headwaters Economics, says the projects are designed to cope with disasters like hurricanes, tornadoes, and floods, which are getting more intense as the climate gets hotter.
They're often really essential infrastructure. These projects save lives, protect property, and reduce long-term costs.
The BRIC program also marked a key shift for FEMA, Smith says. Instead of just paying for damage after disasters, it was designed to prevent that damage from happening in the first place.
Programs like BRIC really help us avoid these ballooning disaster costs that we've seen by simply being more proactive. We can pay a little bit now or a lot more tomorrow.
The biggest impact is being felt by small rural communities like Kamei, Idaho. Deputy City Clerk Mike Tornatori has worked for years on a grant to prepare for wildfires.
This community, due to the age of the building materials that were used at that time, we are ripe for a fire to sweep through this community and burn it to the ground.
Kamei was planning on setting up a grant program to help homeowners make their houses more resistant to wildfires if they can't afford it themselves. That includes replacing older wood roofs and clearing flammable brush.
I have
that thing's actually aggressive.
Waiting to receive these grants, but I'll find another way for them. I will, and it's what I have to do.
Tornatori knows that won't be
hold
easy.
on. We gotta pause this. There's like a Japanese tentacle monster chasing me right now. Oh my god, that thing can jump? They need to like mark these if they're aggressive or not. Okay. Oh my god! Okay, I gotta get the fuck out of here. Shit. Oh, out of the frying pan into the fire. Golden rune. Okay, so I think these giants, those have reach. How much damage can I do? Let me run up and see. Not that much! That's not that much damage. Holy shit. Oh my god! Okay, so I tried coming over here. I don't think you can get up here, right? You can't get up onto the tower. Or can you? If I double jump? And then I went to the other side of the tower and I couldn't get up there either. I could just like kill some guys and I found, oh my god! I found like I think it was like an ash of war or something. Oh shit, where that? Oh fuck, there's a giant. It's coming over here. Yeah. Sorry buddy, I'm not gonna fight you. Alright, let's see where. Gotta get my bearings. Ooh, there's some graves over here. Let's check these out. Golden rune. Nice. I assume that's good. How the hell do I pick this up? Another golden rune. I like these little balls. Unless they're gonna explode like that. What the f... Can't trust anything in this game. Alright, let's pick up some more runes. Wait, oh my god! Bro, fuck these things. What was that? A sanctuary stone. Okay, so if they're spread out, they're fine. But if they're in a clump, then they're going to explode. Got it. At least these sheep will never attack me. My homies. Wait a second, what the fuck? What the hell? Bro, even the sheep are attacking me. I gotta like get some runes and try to level up. Alright, golden rune. Pick up this stuff. Okay. Alright, I think we're good. So I thought I saw a character that would start a quest for me. So let me try to find her. Okay, so I'll go back over here and just retrace my steps. Some flowers. Oh yeah, right here.
Everyone's been grafted. Everyone who came with me. They crossed the sea for me. They fought for me.
Okay, who are you?
Only to have their arms taken. Their legs taken, even their heads.
Alright, well, I'm not gonna fight for you then.
Taken and stuck to the spider. Did you know? If you're grafted by the spider, you're willing to make me a chrysalid. Everyone's been grafted. Everyone who came with me. They crossed the sea for me. They fought for me. Only to have their arms taken, their legs taken, even their heads taken.
Jesus Christ, what's on my face?
Taken and stuck to the spider. Did you know? If you're grafted by the spider, you become a chrysalid. It's quite
That's
a lark
interesting.
when you think about it.
Sitting sideways. Switch action.
You're all on your own, are you?
I got a
Heading to
horse.
Stormvale Castle. Enticed by the one in the well, that makes us two peas in a pod. But I don't have your courage. It's scary, you know, having your arms cut off, or legs, or your head. I want to be like everyone else, but I'm just too
No, I'm trying to lock on.
nothing but a craven.
Yeah, I can tell George R. R. Martin wrote this.
I know. Can you take
Nothing
this
but a
little one
craven.
with you?
Ooh, jellyfish ashes.
Nothing deserves someone braver than myself. And the
Yeah, what are
spirits
you,
look
Little Red Riding
fondly
Hood?
upon you. It'll be glad of your company, I think, the little one. It was a pleasure to see you. Oh, can you pass on a message for me? If you see the little chrysalids in Stormvale Castle, tell them I love them. And that, despite my craven heart, I'm sure I'll be joining their club soon enough.
Jeez.
I'm finally getting the hang of this whole pain thing, you know?
So who is this girl? She had someone come, she had some people come and fight for her, and then they all got turned into like monsters and
It was a
stuff?
pleasure to see you. Oh, tell them I
Right, so
love
you're
you
done
from them.
talking. Okay. So, let's see. What are these ashes anyway? So gestures. You just do these gestures by pressing triangle and like turning the controller? What the fuck? How do you do a gesture? Oh, there you go. Okay. Inventory. Jellyfish spirits. Summon spirit jellyfish. It's not a one-time use, right? Like I can use it over and over again. Let's see, how do I equip that? Kukri. Switch. Okay, so I have 2 Spirits of Wars. I have a Wandering Noble Ash. Summons 5 Wandering Noble Spirits. Number held 1. FP cost. Well, let's try it. I guess I don't know what the Spirit Jellyfish does. Let's see what these Wandering Nobles do. And put the jellyfish in here too. Wait. Alright, let's try these out. Where are those wolves? There's soldiers over there. Alright, let's try this. Oi! Yo, soldiers! Shit, there's a lot of them though. Oh wait. But why aren't I summoning these guys? They have to be in combat or something? That's not good. I'm at 0 of my kukri? Wait, if I rest, will it reload? Figure this out. Oh, I only have 220 room. Memorize spell. Those are the only spells I know. Completely silences the footsteps of the caster, additionally reduces fall damage and the sound produced by falling. Incantation of the 2 fingers of servants, who once served as the assassins of the Round Table hold. The assassins were charged with eliminating tarnish who had strayed from guidance. Okay, what about this? Urgent heal. Okay. Wait. The rest. So my kukri are gone. Don't know. Alright, well, let's just try this. I'm a vampire, Khajiit in Oblivion Remastered. I don't know what that means. The hell is this, a mushroom? Taking it. Right, come on. Come on. Just fight me. Kind of forgot how to fight though, to be honest. Oh shit. Alright. You next, little child. Whoa, what the fuck? Are you throwing bombs at me? Man, he's more than he appears. What the? Come on, log on, you fool. Right. Only one swordsman left. Come on. I know you want a piece of this. Come on. Run over. Run. That's it. There you go. Okay. So, let's continue. You know what I want to listen to? I want to listen to this freak, dude. So this guy says, about Hassan's defamation, fast facts. You smith up your sword yet? No, I haven't. I haven't done it yet. I've been leveling up, like increasing my HP and stuff. Let's listen to this while I just like wander aimlessly around trying to get rune stones. Turn down the volume.
Hassan has slandered me, committed some defamation in response to my reaction to what was going on with Twitch and the situation with Twitch. So today I'm going to respond to that publicly, clear up some of that misinformation, and also talk about some hot water that Hassan may be in legally in the state of California. Of course, I'm Andrew Esquire, American attorney, and this is the legal mindset we teach you to be your own judge. So typically my policy overall with defamation, with people that
what the fuck
is just to ignore it, is to pass it by, is to really pay it no mind, particularly if they're smaller channels and smaller people, really to ignore that at large. However, when a channel of 1.7 million people spreads false information about yourself, clearly not having watched a single one of my videos or really knowing much about me, it seems, other than what the most deranged antis might try to cook up, there is
the
some
most
need
deranged
to
antis?
respond to that. And also, there is a need to bring up some very real legal trouble that Mr. Piker may be in regarding California, especially as some individuals look to come against him. So first of all, we're going to start by reviewing the defamation itself, and this does come in the form of a video which I have right here for you guys. And this is Hassan kind of responding to his chat and talking about me and why he's not going to review my videos.
There's fucking guys everywhere.
Start out by saying I love the fact that you're going to see immediately how he jumps to ad hominem, because ad hominem or personal attacks,
Jesus Christ,
when used as a debate strategy or when used to rebuke someone, actually represent a concession. That actually means you.
So if you use ad hominem, that represents a concession. Well, I mean, not all the time. Sometimes you just don't feel like engaging in their arguments, and he literally didn't watch you, so he didn't watch your video. So how the hell would he be able to respond to your actual arguments if he didn't watch your video? Now, he's basically responded to the claims of Ethan Klein saying that, like, you have to, basically saying that Denims, Frogan, and Casey Tron all committed copyright fraud. He's responded to those claims, or copyright infringement. He's responded to those claims, but he hasn't actually watched your videos. Alright, honestly, I'm just gonna like run past these guys. I kind of want to get my runes back. So Hassan basically like made fun of this guy, and then he's like, that's slander, that's libel. I'm gonna sue Hassan. He's not gonna sue Hassan, by the way, because he's not gonna win the case. But basically what he's doing is just getting YouTube views. Like, he wants to pretend like he's a lawyer, and I'm sure he is a lawyer, but he's also a YouTuber engaging in YouTube drama. He covers YouTube drama, and that's what he's doing on this channel. That's what his channel is. It's a YouTube drama channel. And so he's saying how much success Ethan has by picking fights with Hassan, And now he's doing the same thing. He's like, "Oh, should I sue Hassan? Let's talk about it." Look, if he says at the end of this video, "And I'm going to start a lawsuit against Hassan," then I'm going to be shocked and I'll take back everything I said. But right now, all this is YouTube drama. So let's get into it a little bit more.
Incapable of making a legal argument or an objective argument or an informed argument or in any sort of educational argument. You're simply trying to discredit someone personally to get around the fact you lack the capacity to actually argue. And so I actually don't take offense to that. I'm very used to it, having been on the internet for years now. So we'll get into this video and the thoughts by Mr. Piker.
Dude, there's something so funny about people being like, "Dog, have you seen the legal mindset video about you?" Dude, if I were to cover every Rumble lawyer, fake lawyer that it actually is.
So let's stop right there. Okay, so Rumble lawyer is very interesting. And I think he may mention Rumble again. While I do have, I guess, still a Rumble account, I haven't uploaded it to years. I don't stream.
He's like, "Wait a second, I'm not a Rumble lawyer." No, like, fair enough, I do have a Rumble account, but I don't use it. Okay, that's not really beating the allegations. And obviously, when Hassan says you're a Rumble lawyer, that doesn't necessarily mean that you stream exclusively on Rumble. You're in that kind of like dirty, grimy YouTube drama, internet like slop space. That's the kind of space that you inhabit. And don't pretend like you don't. You just cover YouTube drama. That's what you do. And you have a veneer of like, "Oh, I'm informing people about the law." But no, you're not. You're using the law as a talking point to try to give yourself some kind of credibility and give some weight to your words to cover YouTube drama. Okay, so what's this Ashes of War? With the Ashes of War menu, you can use Ashes of War to grant skills and affinities to your armaments at sites of grace. An armament can only have one skill. Any skill it previously had will be lost. By adding an affinity, you can alter an armament's attack affinity, boost attributes, scaling, and more. An armament's type determines what skills and affinities it has. Okay. Is this sword good though? Like, what sword do I have right now? Sword chest. The sword I have right now is like, should I be leveling up this sword or should I try to find a different sword? What are my weapons? So I have a broadsword, Lord Sworn's greatsword, and a flail. Okay, well, let's go to my Ashes of War. Ethan only hates things that people love more than him. Oh, you can take the art off? Okay. Ash of War, Storm Stomp. That's what you're saying I should do? Affinity granted standard or quality? Standard or quality? Quality broadsword or standard broadsword? Okay. So what can I do with this? Slice, slice. The fuck did I just do? See what sword can use the double slash. Wait, I feel like did I do this correctly? Ashes of War. I put it on this. Storm Stomp. Is that the only Ash of War that I have? That's the only Ash of War I have. Okay, so how do I actually use this though? Like, how do I know what it does? Oh, that's cool. So you can stomp and then like do a combo or something. So that takes my magic energy. Although I kind of liked the other thing where you can like hold the sword in a cool stance and then slash with it. Can I still do that? The stomp is above. No, you have others. Only shows when have weapon it can use. Oh, okay, so I need to get a different weapon then. Gotcha. Well, hold on. Let's see what kind of weapons I need, though. Inventory. Sword 0 out of 600. Spirit Jellyfish Ashes. Okay. So, I have the Ash of War. Oh, yeah, the Ash of War Wild Strikes. Usable on axes and hammers, as well as curved swords and great swords. And I have a broadsword, so that's not a great sword or a curved sword. Okay. Gotcha. And this sword kind of sucks. But in my inventory, I have the quality broadsword. I have, let's see, equipment. Where are the swords that I got from the freaking soldiers that I killed? I have a great... Okay, so if I can use this, but I need to increase my strength in order to use this. And then I can put the sword stash on. You know what? I don't want to take this Ash of War off the broadsword. It's cool, but I like the other types of slashes that I have when I don't use that. Unless there's a way that I can still use the slashes. Hey Noah, how's it going? Double slash applied to various swords and slashing pole arms, including straight swords. Yeah. I should... Well, shit, I don't want to talk to Melita. Sorry, this is awkward. Yeah, I didn't want to talk to you. Right, Ashes of War. Undo enhancement. Okay, because I like doing this stance and then being able to slash or like do the run up and do the upturned spike, especially when I'm going to be fighting a bunch of guys with shields. Okay, so let's make our way to the castle and listen to this. Why does this lawyer remind me of these weird ass guys that are defending this castle?
Stream on Rumble. I only stream on YouTube, primarily as a major platform.
Oh, I think this game's super fun.
I don't like them. Rumble, just as a comment, initially offered a very good package contractually to stream on their platform, good advertising packages. That fell off way back.
Bro, this guy reminds me of my mom when she tells stories, because he can't stay on track. He's like a throwaway comment from Hassan, and he's gone on like a 30-second tangent about how he once got a good deal from Rumble, but now he doesn't have good deals anymore. Like, dude, ignore it. Talk about you're accusing Hassan of defaming you. Talk about the defamation.
Towards the COVID days. So yeah, that's kind of a weird thing. Now, fake lawyer is interesting, and I want to
fuck you throwing little balls of fire at me. What are you?
Now, I want to give Mr. Game of Thrones some credit here, because perhaps he knows nothing about me or knows nothing about the law. Well, clearly he knows nothing about the law or what words mean. Lawyer is anybody with a law degree, whether or not they're licensed and practice law. So
whoa,
anybody who's
me with
a
a bow
is indeed a lawyer.
Bitch.
Now, attorney is someone above lawyer. You could say that word is perhaps not interchangeable, but similarly related.
Who cares?
So far as they're not only a lawyer, not only do they have a law degree.
Bro, he said you're a fucking Rumble lawyer, like a fake Rumble lawyer. Now you're talking about the difference between a lawyer and an attorney? Who gives a fuck? What's your response to Hassan? Like, he's just waxing poetic about the like the power levels of various degrees and certifications of lawmen. Like, what's your point?
But an attorney has to be licensed to practice in their state. I'm licensed to practice in the state of Florida. So I am both a lawyer and an attorney above that. So thinking about that logically as a little bit of education, all attorneys are lawyers, but not all lawyers are attorneys. So there you go, Mr. Piker. That's the language. So that statement.
What do you mean, there you go, Mr. Piker?
Right, that I am a quote-unquote fake lawyer because I indeed possess a law degree from the University of Florida. So that statement in the future would be defamatory.
Holy shit.
With Mr. Piker, we do have to remember, and with myself and other figures, is that we are all public figures. So we follow the New York Times versus Sullivan standard. We have a higher standard for defamation than the normal private individual. So now that that's been clarified publicly for Mr. Piker, and that he will well know that that information is false and defamatory, to continue to do so.
Dude, you just said you have a higher standard of defamation because you're a public figure. So I don't think calling you a fake lawyer is defamation.
Would perhaps incur liability on the part of Mr. Piker. But let's continue to see what he has to say.
Also, the video started off with Hassan saying he refuses to watch you. And you're like, now that I went on this pedantic language lesson talking about the difference between a lawyer and an attorney, now Mr. Piker can know that. He said he doesn't watch you.
That spends most of their time talking about, like, trans people.
So that's very interesting. So I will say this.
Is it
most
interesting?
Of my time talking about trans people, the issues I have been covering lately have been the Ethan Klein lawsuit, have been Johnny Somali, have been Vitali. Now, unless you are counting something with Somali or Vitali as a trans issue, which I would struggle to understand how that would fit in,
the fuck am I doing?
Then yeah, that's not at all what my content has been about for the past years. So very interesting thing. Also,
okay, since when does saying someone focuses on something when they don't focus on that thing defamation? Show me the legal precedent for that.
Politics out of my streams, and it's particularly over the last year. 6 months, definitely last 6 months and a year, I have endeavored to keep my streams as objective and educational, and make it a environment where everybody is welcome. Even people who like Hassan Piker are welcome in my chat, so long as they are civil, so long as they keep the conversation from violating.
Love how he says, I've tried to make my stream as objective as possible. Even people that like Hassan Piker are welcome in my chat. Doesn't sound like you're being very objective. Sounds like you're pretty biased against Hassan.
The terms of service of the platform, because I indeed do care about abiding by the terms of service of the platform. That is, you are welcome in my chat, whether you're right, left, center, whether you're apolitical, whether you don't care about politics. It doesn't matter at all to me. I care about the law and educating people.
Dude, holy shit.
That's the core of my channel. So let's continue.
I can tell he's a lawyer because he never shuts the fuck up.
I would lose my mind. I would have no time to cover anything else. I get it. A lot of you are drama perverts, okay? And you nut when you think about the prospect of drama. But I'm not.
I will say, I actually do not like drama. And in fact, on my channel,
dude, he's such a fucking liar. I knew he was going to say I don't like drama.
Avoid drama. In fact,
fuck.
even in carrying out
that
my
guy
behaviors,
sniped me.
I try to make sure that I am focusing more on the legal aspects of things rather than the dramatic elements, the interpersonal problems.
Bro, you cover drama through a legal avenue. Just because you focus on the legal aspects of drama doesn't mean you don't like drama, or doesn't mean you're not covering drama. You are covering drama. You just excuse it by saying that, oh, but I'm talking about the legal aspects of the drama. Okay, so then you're talking about the drama.
That people did. I try to focus on the legal elements of a story. Now, sometimes to get to the legal elements, you have to give background, you have to give context, because things don't make sense in context without context. However, yes, I would agree with Hassan that I don't like drama, but what Hassan tends to define as drama, and what it appears he's defining as drama, is anything that disagrees with the things he's doing. So by somebody saying what you are doing is objectively risking lawsuits, it's objectively wrong, or for example, saying that, hey, your orbiters, Denims and Frogan, they're going to lose under copyright infringement. Here's the explanation of the law. Apparently, that's drama to objectively educate people on the law. That's a new definition of drama to me.
Bro,
and I don't know
you're literally covering Ethan Klein doing a personal spite lawsuit against people. And just because you're pretending like it's an objective application of the law, which even in your original video, you're like, oh wait, no, this isn't an objective application because Ethan said that he likes Asmongold and he likes XQC. That's why he's not suing them. And you're like, oh, well, that's not right. Like, if they committed copyright infringement, you should sue them anyway. So even you admit that Ethan Klein's doing this out of personal bias, but now you're just pretending like it's an even application of the law and completely drama-free. You're just a neutral arbiter. You're a drama slop YouTuber. That's what you are, dude. Just because you have a law degree and every now and then you define a legal term doesn't mean that's not what you are. You can't change it. All right, let's go over here. This looks like a cool place. The fuck is this thing?
Or any attention to some fucking psychotic MAGA lawyer.
You,
not a real
please.
lawyer, but
I can read them. Damn, she talks out. Your fingers, please. Your fingers. Show hands. No, I'm good. Oh. I don't know, guys. Should I show her my hand? Is she gonna eat my fingers? I don't want her to eat my fucking fingers. Hey, thank you for the 5 gifted subs. Alright, fine. I'll do it for the memes. Oh, bless you. Oh. Don't eat my fingers. Head to the foundation of gold, tarnished. Traverse Rea Lucaria, glintstone eventide. Bitch, what happened to your eyes? And reunite the half crescents at the grand. I'm not going to remember this. Can you write it down? Reunite the. Oh, but the bridge is collapsed and cannot be crossed. Yeah, what are you going to do there? Only why should that matter? Bro, your feet are cursed. Stormvale Castle still stands tall. Do you have anything else to say? Okay, no, you don't. Creepy finger fetish witch. We can't hear the voice. Ooh. Is this a statue over here? As long as she didn't eat my fingers, I'm fine with that. Oh, this is just a dude. Hi. Oh, he's dead. Nomadic Warriors Cookbook. Sweet. I can finally make some cool stuff. Wait, hold on. This was a good time for a gesture. Oh, sweet! Man, I should screenshot this. Alright. Okay, buddy, get up. So can I do that when I'm on a ledge? Okay, it looks like I can go down here. I think. Let's go for it. Oh. Alright, Florida lawyer man that's on vacation in Thailand.
Passport bro.
So, okay, that's real interesting. Once again, he repeats the defamation, saying I'm not a real lawyer, which is indeed wrong. And it's interesting, and MAGA, of course, don't bring up politics. That I've never talked about that at all recently at all. But beyond that, passport bro is interesting. Because the definition of a passport bro is typically someone that would visit a location for a short period purely for sexual purposes. And for anybody who knows anything about me, I'm a long-term resident of several countries in Asia. I've been a resident of the Republic of South Korea, the Kingdom of Thailand, the Philippines, and Japan. These are all wonderful, amazing countries, and I do help people obtain legal visas and legal residence long term in these countries because they appreciate the culture, the lifestyle, the quality of life, the peace, the safety, the tranquility. These are amazing things about living in Asia.
People get.
And another amazing thing is that
he helps people get citizenship in Thailand and Japan. So he's not a passport bro. Well, he is. He just helps people become passport bros? Is that what he said?
About living in Asia. And
bro, like, oh my god, this is ridiculous. What? Bro, once again, like, you're not fooling anyone. This is petty YouTube squabbling. You're like, Hassan called me a passport bro, but that would imply that I'm doing, like, sexual tourism. But in fact, I am not. I help other people do that. Just because you have a law degree doesn't mean you're not engaging in drama.
Culture, the lifestyle, the quality of life, the peace, the safety, the tranquility. These are amazing things about living in Asia. And another amazing thing is that...
Did I hear that right? He helps people move to Asia.
All wonderful, amazing countries, and I do help people obtain legal visas and legal residence long term in these countries because they appreciate the culture, the lifestyle, the quality of life.
He literally said, I'm not a passport bro. I help people get visas to Thailand and the Philippines. So you help people become passport bros. You facilitate it. What is this stupid ass defense of his?
The peace, the safety, the tranquility. These are amazing things about living in Asia. And another amazing thing is that unlike America, and this may be surprising to Hassan, it is not as easy to get away with being an illegal migrant to these countries. So if you try to illegally migrate to Japan or Korea, very good luck to you, sir. Because likely you will end up in the cell next to Johnny Somali, aka Ramzi Khalid Ismail, if you try that in Korea. It's not going to go well for you. So I would insist that it perhaps...
Is he implying that Hassan's an illegal immigrant in this country? Like, why is he like, oh, unlike America, and unbeknownst to Hassan, it's way more difficult to be an illegal immigrant in these Asian countries. You'd probably end up in a cell just right beside Johnny Somali, who I don't even know who that is. What the fuck are you talking about? Is he defaming you or not? What does this have to... Bro, this is inane ramblings from a person who really has no smoke. Like, holy shit, how the fuck does this guy... I mean, he has to be pandering to the right wing, right? He's pandering to people against Hassan's audience. He's pandering to people pro Ethan Klein, I guess.
The only person that perhaps between the two of us would be a passport bro is the individual who visited Berlin solely for the purpose of going to a brothel. But that's
oh my god, he's literally bringing up the fact that Hassan went to a tourist trap in Berlin as oh, I'm not engaging in drama. I'm actually just analyzing the legal aspects of internet drama. Which, first of all, you're not doing that. And second of all, even if you were doing that, you're still engaging in trauma. I can't believe he brought up the brothel in Berlin. That's so fucking funny. You admitted you were on a vacation in Thailand, which is notorious for sex tourism. And then when you got called out on it, your defense is, no, I don't engage in sex tourism. I help other people engage in sex tourism. That's even worse. What the fuck is this guy talking about?
Neither here nor there.
Then why did you bring it up?
Who offers fucking courses?
He literally just said, it's neither here nor there. And he went on a 5-minute rant about how he doesn't engage in sex tourism. He just facilitates it. Then why, if it's not relevant, why the fuck did you talk about it? Holy shit, this guy puts out videos that are nothing. A fart carries more information than this man's videos do.
On becoming a passport bro, who primarily fucking streams on Rumble.
Neither one of those things are true. I do not have a single course on becoming a passport bro, and I do not primarily stream on Rumble. I only stream on YouTube. So, yeah, there we go.
Now I'm kind of curious.
Why do you guys come
now I kind of think that he does have courses on how to become a passport bro. He literally just said that he helps people move to these places to enjoy the tranquility and like the local culture there.
here and ask for this stuff. It's never going to happen.
And that's the great point. I'm going to leave it right there.
I'm so
it's
lost.
never going to happen because Hassan lacks the capacity to actually address real issues and to actually respond to legal or objective arguments, because he's incapable of doing that. Not only because he's not a lawyer, even a non-lawyer can make an argument, can make a policy position, can say this should be this way for XYZ, but because he needs to discredit others.
Dude, did he just say Hassan doesn't make policy prescriptions? Shine. Fuck you. Fuck. Shit, there's a lot of wolves here. Oh my god. Don't lock onto the jackrabbit. Oh my god, I fucking died. I can't believe I died there. Oh, I fucking died to like 3 wolves. Okay.
By ad hominem in order to try to win an intellectual argument. And frankly, that's at the lowest level of argumentation. But one thing he really
I'm all the
can't
way back
argue
here
with is the law. And in fact, there's a California law, which was pointed out by a California lawyer friend of mine, where that shows that he may have violated this statute, 653.2. involving electronic cyber harassment. So this is the statute which reads, every person who with the intent to place another in reasonable fear of his safety. So if you have the intention to scare somebody else,
what the fuck is this shit?
Safety, or the safety of that person's family by means of an electronic communication device, a computer or a cell phone, and without the consent of the other person, and for the purpose of imminently causing that person,
these bats are dragons,
unwanted physical contact, injury, or harassment by a third party, electronically distributes, publishes, email.
Every person who, with the intent to place another person in reasonable fear for his or her safety, or the safety of the other person's immediate family by means of an electronic communication device and without consent of the other person, and for the purpose of imminently causing that other person unwanted physical contact, injury, or harassment by a third party, electronically distributes, publishes, emails, hyperlinks, or makes available for downloading personal identifying information, including but not limited to a digital image of another person or an electronic message of a harassing nature about another person, which would be likely to incite or produce that unlawful action, is guilty of a misdemeanor punishable by up to 1 year in a county jail by fine of not more than $1,000, or by both that fine and imprisonment. Okay, sue him then. Honestly, sue him. He said you're a passport bro that streams on Rumble and you make courses for other people to become passport bros. Yeah, you should definitely sue Hassan for that, because that definitely is going to incite reasonable fear for your safety. Give me a fucking break, dude. This is such bloviating. You're going to make a YouTube video announcing your lawsuit instead of just suing Hassan? It's because you're a drama slop YouTuber. You're not an actual, like, you don't have an actual case against him. Holy shit. What? Please, in the last minute of this video, are you going to show me your filing that you did against Hassan to charge him with this?
Hyperlinks or makes available for downloading personal identifying information, including but limited to a digital image of that other person or an electronic message of a harassing nature about that other person, which would be likely to incite or produce that unlawful action. So he put out that photo and he engaged in those actions with the intent to instill fear in that other individual. So that individual could look into contacting California law enforcement.
What individual? Are you talking about yourself?
To Hassan and take action thereby. Very interesting and something for him to worry about, but of course, only if he addresses the real issue.
Is it something for him to worry about?
Let me know what you guys think in the comments.
What do you mean? It's only something for him to worry about if he addresses the real issues?
And take action thereby. Very interesting and something for him to worry about, but of course, only if he addresses the real issues. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and I'll catch you on the next one.
Okay, dude, this guy's cracked. He needs to be stopped. Calling him a pseudo-intellectual really pissed him off. Okay, this shit is insane. All right, what else does this man have? God. Fucking horrible music. Twitch has a Hassan problem. All right, let's watch this.
Twitch has a brand new Hassan problem, and this one could have huge repercussions, both legal and non-legal. We're going to get into that today, of course, on the Legal Mindset. We teach you to be your own judge. I'm Andrew Esquire, American attorney, and I'm bringing you this Fast Facts premiere, a quick and dirty version, while I'm once again on a short vacation in lovely Phuket, Thailand. So another hotel room, another...
I'm not a passport bro, but I am always taking vacations in Thailand.
Place, but still bringing you the freshest news. So make sure you like this video.
Right, I'll unmute this.
The Fast Facts versions. So let's get right into it. Twitch has always taken a preferential stance when it comes to enforcing its guidelines, or at least it, when looking at its terms of service, has not always applied those equally to all groups and people. And one of the people that gets the most criticism for this, and that many folks across the board have said is the really recipient of a lot of the benefit of the terms of service without the burden of punishment, has been one Hassan Piker. Now today there was an absolutely extreme incident which really points out the problem for Twitch in having this unequal enforcement involving Hassan, and how this can have legal consequences. This is involving...
Yeah, let me make this clear for everyone. Well, maybe for the Legal Mindset. Twitch has favorable enforcement policies for its big streamers. Hassan is one of them, Asmongold is another, XQC. All of its biggest streamers get favorable enforcement policies whenever they violate the terms of service. So, yeah, it's not that Twitch is biased towards Hassan, they're biased towards money, and Hassan brings them in a lot of money.
Him swinging around what appears to be, and that's the very key here legally and overall, what appears to be a weapon. So let's take a look at the video, and of course this is video that I found over on X, which highlights this incident. So we'll take this clip here and give some commentary as we go.
It's time to crusade Iran and Gaza. Mamdani communists. Let's go to war against the left.
So so to give you some background here, it appears there's a chatter in his chat who is made a bunch of comments. Obviously, these are comments that are not fitting with the vibe in the crowd of Hassan's chat. Obviously, for any of this, he would have the ability to block and or ban this person. Of course, every single content creator retains the right to ban people out of their chat for whatever reason. Some people are more permissive, some people are more restrictive. That's really up to the creators on their platform. If they choose to ban people for anything, that's up to them. We wouldn't be here today.
Holy shit, I
if
suck.
This was just a block and ban incident, which, once again, I think...
I didn't even get my fucking runes.
As a creator saying, hey, I don't want this person here. And some of this language was even pretty extreme, saying hang Hassan for treason. Yeah, that's pretty extreme. And you know what? Blocking and banning someone for that would be called for. If someone came into my chat or anybody else's chat and said that...
Dude, this guy has diarrhea of the mouth. He speaks for so long without saying something. Yes, you can ban a person for calling for your death, alright? That took 2 seconds to say. Move on.
About that creator, yeah, they would probably catch a ban. They would probably catch a block and a ban, and possibly a report, a broader report. But the response that Hassan gives here is not proportional nor appropriate to these comments. Let's play this.
In our sincerity and actually delivering for the very working people.
So let's be clear. He's gone and retrieved what appears to be a pistol. Now, many people have pointed out it could be airsoft or it is airsoft or whatever else. The key here is that it appears to be a real weapon. I'll also note, as someone who played airsoft for like 8-9 years as a kid, I had MP5s, I had pistols, I had a sniper rifle, even an airsoft sniper rifle. You're supposed to have an orange tip or a marker on the end of an airsoft. That would be not a typical airsoft to lack that marker or remove that orange tip, even though, of course, some people do that. Some people make it more realistic. But the key here, and this is a key that is not just in analyzing this for Twitch terms of service, but also broader for the law, is that you can make a physical threat. You can make a threat or try to intimidate somebody with even a fake weapon, with a fake knife, with a fake gun, with a fake bomb. If you were going to try to hijack a plane and you attempted that with a fake gun it would not be material in terms of your defense. You would not be able to say, oh, but, well, it was fake, so I couldn't do it all along, you know.
So he threatened the life of a chatter who was saying, oh, we should kill you. That's what Hassan did with this gun? That's what conservatives are getting triggered over? Someone putting a gun on stream?
In jail, you don't get off because, oh, it was fake. No, you would lead a reasonable person to believe that was real, and a reasonable person could have fear of that knife, gun, bomb, whatever, despite the fact that it's not objectively real. So that's a defense.
A reasonable person can have fear of a gun from a streamer they're watching? Is he going to shoot you through your keyboard? What the fuck is he talking about? I find this asinine to have this conversation in America, where, like, if you go onto any kind of conservative news feed or social media feed, you'll see like a 300-pound man with his gut hanging out of his shirt with an assault rifle, and he's like, come on, Biden, try to take my gun, see what happens. It's like, America is built off of threatening people with your guns. As a show, you have politicians blowing shit up with guns for their campaign ads. Are we supposed to be threatened by them? What the fuck are we talking about here? This is insane.
A lot of people brought up, and I don't think that stands up. Let's continue.
Compared with what President Trump has been able to do. You know, over the same period of time that I've been running, has been tell him.
Like, could this not be a show of self-defense? Showing that Hassan has self-defense if someone who threatened his life tries to break into Hassan's house? Could that not be something that we talk about? What? He's threatening someone's life with a gun by pulling out a gun on stream. All right.
Okay, fair enough. Once again, brandishing the weapon, flaring it around. Obviously, there's a point to this. Obviously, there's an individual who's directed at. You know, this is something that's not really ambiguous in the general intention.
As you may have... Oh, you found his account?
Today, I will show you 3 ways you can use your...
So here's another crazy thing about the doxing. So now you've paired, so you've linked up brandishing a weapon, what appears to be a real weapon, whether or not it is, whether it's an airsoft or whether it's fake. You've paired up brandishing a weapon with doxing, which is revealing their private information, which, by the way, in certain jurisdictions, in certain places in the world, is illegal.
Fucking Christ, I'm so bad at this game.
Which are potentially illegal. There's the brandishing, the threats, the intimidation, and then you've got the doxing, right? So you've got 2 separate things you're now doing together. So that this is combining to make it even worse.
Doxing of any kind is prohibited by Twitch's community guidelines, even if the perpetrators only expose information available via the public record. If your personal identifiable information is released on Twitch without your consent, you can file a report and we will investigate. So what's his personal information, personally identifiable information that was released on Twitch without his consent? It was a YouTube channel, a public YouTube channel that he's probably linked in his Twitch account. Is that a personally identifiable information? So if I make a comment on Twitch and then someone finds my YouTube channel, Uninformed Leftist, then I can sue them for doxing me, or I can get them banned on Twitch for doxing me.
So that this is combining to make it even worse.
All right, this is ridiculous.
First thing we want to do
Try
is
number
download
4,
the
I guess.
VPN app, which we can do through the first link in the description.
What are you gonna do, bro?
And of course, I do like the pop-up there just explaining that this is clearly against their TOS. This is something that is not...
Oh shit, I missed the pop-up. What was it? Violence and threats. Acts and threats of violence are counterproductive to promoting a safe, inclusive, friendly community. Violence on Twitch is taken seriously and considered a zero-tolerance violation, and all other accounts associated with such activities on Twitch will be indefinitely suspended. For example, you may not show or promote attempts or threats to physically harm or kill others, attempts or threats to act, dox, DDoS, or swat others, use of weapons to physically threaten, intimidate, harm, or kill others, engaging others to participate in acts that may harm others. I mean, I would call this an act of self-defense. What happened to using a gun to defend yourself? I thought we lived in America. What is this? Fucking communist China where you can't have a gun?
What are you gonna do, bro?
And of course, I do like the pop-up there just explaining that this is clearly against their TOS. This is something that is not, you know, holistically, both the doxing and the threatening is, of course, against the Twitch terms of service, right?
Write a petition? Let's do a crusade, he says. Let's do a fucking crusade, he says. Let's hang Hassan and Mamdani for treason, he says.
Bro, who put in those sound effects?
What the fuck are you gonna do? Go on a fishing expedition? Try to fucking put malware in my phone? Is that what you're gonna do? You skinny bitch.
And to be clear,
oh my god, he insulted
nothing that
him.
Hassan said would be necessarily impermissible. He could say all those things. He could call them, I believe his technical word was a skinny bitch, all he wants. That would have been perfectly fine. He could yell at this guy the whole night, scream at this guy the whole night. The problem was the weapon combined with the doxing, right?
Dude, that literally was not doxing.
Show, he can run it how he
Finding
wants.
a Twitch,
that wouldn't necessarily be
going from a Twitch account to a YouTube account is doxing now? Are you fucking kidding me? A public-facing YouTube channel where the guy has 1.1 thousand likes on his YouTube video?
To just yell at the guy the whole night and make fun of the guy.
Like, if this man has a Twitch account, he comments on Hassan's chat, Hassan goes to his YouTube channel, is that doxing all of a sudden?
That's fine. Do it your way, not what we do on my channel. But hey, he can do it on his channel all he wants. But with that, you open yourself up to a bunch of problems. And Twitch is opened up to a bunch of problems. Because now they've got to decide what they're going to do with Hassan. And in the past, they've only given him slaps on the wrist. That is, they've given him 1 day or 24-hour bans or sometimes 12-hour bans. And that's been all they've done with him. But now we've got a serious problem because we've got a situation in which if he is not banned for this, this opens up this behavior for others. So it opens up this behavior, these threats for other people, which can bring on what appears to be real weapons, knives, bombs, and dox people, threaten them.
Oh, that wolf died.
And here's the problem for
oh my
Twitch.
god, fuck
they
this stupid shit, bro.
Up for not just losing advertisers, which is a big non-legal issue, not just looking bad as a brand, because obviously nobody wants to be the platform in which people are openly brandishing weapons and threatening others.
And what happens in the end of the grade?
That's not good for a platform. But you open yourself up to illegal consequences as well. Now, obviously, many people know the breach of contract route. And there are arguments in terms of breaching the contract between the creator and the platform in terms of banning somebody for one type of behavior, whereas you don't ban somebody for another. So you don't ban Hassan for this, but let's say another creator is banned for this. Well, there might be a cause of action open up there. Now, there's a lot of challenges with that. That's a difficult one. But one that's even more interesting and one that is really untested, and in fact, there may be many people looking to test this, is a consumer type action under a private right of action. Every state has their consumer laws, and those laws are sometimes very, very strong. And one thing they protect against is unfair and deceptive practices. And it indeed is a very strong case to say it is an unfair and deceptive practice to benefit some people while punishing others. Because this bias, for example, Hassan bias, is not disclosed anywhere. It's not given out in the terms of service. When you read the terms of service, nowhere does it say everyone will be punished except for Hassan Piker. Everyone will be banned except for Hassan Piker. Or, for example, if you want to be more...
Bro, once again, I mean, this guy's a complete charlatan, and he wants to act like he's doing some kind of proper, objective legal analysis when he's literally just lying. He's like, oh, Twitch has uneven rules enforcement. Hassan gets preferential treatment. And he's saying only Hassan gets preferential treatment when it's literally all of the big streamers are treated the same by Twitch because they want to keep the big streamers streaming on their platform. And once again, he wants to make this seem like it's Hassan bad, but it's really just the way that every fucking company works. Like, this is such a nothing story, but whatever, let's continue.
Abroad, everyone will be banned except people who share Hassan Piker's political beliefs or affiliations or associations. If that was disclosed publicly, then fair dues, then you can do what you're trying to do. Of course, advertisers may have an issue with that, but legally it wouldn't be as deceptive. But now you're deceiving the consumer, both the people that are consuming the content, that are expecting that their favorite content creators will not be banned, and then seeing them get banned, and deceiving the creators.
Ooh, Melina.
Testing you to determine if the Elden Ring would truly have you, if you had the mettle to endure this long and arduous path. It seems my worries were unfounded.
I'm made out of metal.
Torrent had your measure from the very start.
I mean, I did just get killed by 3 wolves 4 times in a row.
There is but one other thing I can do to offer you guidance.
Give me a better sword.
I can take you to the Round Table Hold, gathering place of tarnished champions, guided by grace.
Yes, you could. Alright, let's do it.
Very well. Let my hand rest upon you for but a moment.
Yeah, buy me dinner first. Gotta get better clothes though. This is embarrassing. Combat is prohibited on the premises due to pact of non-aggression. The Round Table Hold is located outside of this world, and fast travel by grace is the only means of reaching it. Use a map to travel there. Okay, cool. Okay, how the fuck do I get out of here? Rest at Table of Lost Grace. Damn, this is a big ass table. Well, I guess that's what the place is named after. Hey, you're not grafted yet?
Greetings. Nice to see you again. My name is Roderica. I should have told you sooner.
Yeah, why didn't you?
Isn't this place impressive though? The Round Table Hold, covert quarters of the Two Fingers, and gathering place of champions who vie to become Elden Lord. I never knew the guidance bestowed upon us tarnished had such fantastical though. It's all a bit much for me, in truth. I'm still looking for my own purpose.
Okay.
It's all a bit much for me, in truth.
Alright.
I'm still looking for my
Maybe
own
you'll find your
purpose.
purpose eventually. Hey bro, what's up?
Ah, hello. You must be new here. Well, just call me Dialos. The honor of one's house holds little import in these lands. By
This
the way,
guy's got armor.
have you met a young woman named Lanya on your travels?
Nope.
She's my servant, but fickle as the wind. Take
Keep
your
an
eyes
eye
off
out.
her for but a moment and she's good as gone. If you find her, please be sure to tell me.
I don't know, dude. Sounds like your servant doesn't really want to serve you. He's fickle as the wind. The hell is this guy? Fuck. What do you want? He's just like JoJo posing? Come on. You don't have anything to say, buddy? Alright. That. The hell? Wind Maiden husks. Offer a bell bearing. Purchase. Oh, you can buy stuff from it. Rune Arc. Spirit casting bell. Oh yeah. I need that so I can actually cast my spirits. You won't find stuff for some time unless in caves. Explore and beat NPCs. Alright, well, let me get out of here. Using your map and warping. Table of Lost Grace. And how do I And zoom out. Cars. There we go. Okay, so what's this? Cave of Knowledge, Stranded Graveyard, Gate Front, Stormhill, Evergall. Okay, so I walked up here, and then I was here. Oh, and I just crawled all the way to here? Is that what happened? Instead of actually going through this castle, I just wandered underneath this bridge. Okay, let's go back to the Stormhill Shack and try to take out that castle and beat some NPCs. And while we fight some NPCs, let's listen to this NPC finish up his rant about Hassan holding a gun on stream.
Creators themselves, by lulling them into a belief that they can stream on your platform safely and do what they want, just like Hassan, but then they're ultimately punished. And they're punished for a much longer period of time. They're losing a much larger slice of revenue, memberships, subscriptions, etc., affiliate deals than Hassan. So you're able to point to that and say, I have damages because I am being banned for 7x, 10x, 30x, way longer than Hassan, and I can bring this private cause of action for an unfair and deceptive practice on the part of Twitch, and there's a lot of folks that have opened up for that. So looking at this,
holy shit, that was a direct hit,
and would be even a bigger problem if there was a real incident where somebody got into an altercation where there was a threat made like Hassan, and then somebody responded with force. We saw the case of Sin City Manny in Las Vegas, the streamer that responded to taunting and threats of other streamers. People are not beyond responding with violence, particularly in America. That is something in 2025, that's something that could happen, and God forbid that do happen, would be the absolute end of Twitch as a platform. What do I see?
God forbid that do happen.
Them doing? They've got to do something against Hassan. Hopefully they give him a longer term ban, more than just 24 hours. But unfortunately, Twitch has been known to be very light on its favorite golden boy. But let me know in the comments below what you think about the whole situation and what do you think they're going to do with Hassan, if they're going to do anything, and I'll catch you.
He literally got banned, I guess for a day, for being like, oh yeah, well, if you really wanted to save Medicare or stop fraud, you'd kill Rick Scott. Like, that show is so funny. He got banned for a day for saying that, and he's saying that Twitch is light on Hassan. I mean, once again, oh, fuck you. There goes my stealth mission. Right. Oh, well, I didn't even... Oh my god, there's 2 of them? Oh my god, there's a lot more! Ah, dude, run! Run! I can't take these guys yet. But maybe if I run away enough. Do 1v1. Okay, they're all going back. Is this a skull? There's probably nothing in there. Come on, I'm pointing at you. You gonna be a bitch and run away? Come on, buddy. What the fuck? I forgot I had a shield. Backstab? I'm feeling a backstab. I'm feeling a backstab. Alright, now I'm feeling a runaway. I'm feeling a runaway. Run, run. Alright, anyone following me? Oh yeah, they're following. Come on, spear boy. Kill your friends, you're just gonna sit there like a bitch? Come on. Oh, God, no, he's not sitting there. No, don't crouch, run. Okay, I've got 1,087 runes. Let's go. Fucking die. Okay, so there was a corpse up here that I wanted to pillage. Shit. Let's see if it disappeared yet, though. Yeah, it's right here. Okay. Oh, that guy's shooting at me. Fuck, and he hit me. How many guys are over here with bows? Couple, I feel like. Oh, yeah, there's a lot. He's about to blow his horn, too. Jesus Christ, they kept slashing me with bows. What's this? Herba. Okay, so if I do this urgent heal. That was good. Took a little bit of my magic power, I think. Oh, there they are. As long as I don't get backstabbed. Run away, let's just kite them. Oh yeah, there's the guy right there. Alright, buddy, come on. Easy money, easy money. Okay, and... anyone else over here? I think he's the only guy that jumped down. Jump up here. Come on, can do it. Pull out my shield. They have I cannot stealth these guys. They're pretty good at like seeing threats. Even if I do my assassin step, I think they're just like way too set up. Go over here. There's 3 guys over there. They run. What the fuck was that? Jesus Christ, who's fireballing me? Oh my god! Is it this tower? Suddenly in like World War II, what the fuck? Must be the guys in this tower. I don't know if I can get up there. Okay, this tower is dangerous to be by. Oh my god, now they're shooting at me. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. Alright, we're gonna have to take some of these guys out. That's cool. Oh, fuck. There's a cliff right here. Man, I have no safe spot to go. Jeez, man. Just, archers are gonna be shitty to deal with. Alright, you... yeah, reload while I'm right in front of you, dumbass. Give me a crossbow. Man, I can't use that spell anymore. Alright. $13.43. There's a guy with a torch right there. Let's take him out. Oh, there's a few guys over there. Kill this bird. Fuck! Missed. Okay, so there's a few guys over here. I think I can take them out. Oh shit, there's like a ballista right there too. Oh, run! Alright, run, now turn and fight. Don't. Oh no. Two of them. Alright, come on, big boy. Come on, big boy. I know you want some of this. Let's see if I can do it. Alright. You weren't that bad. Alright, torch man. Come on. Now let's pick some flowers. Okay, so the last group of guys is these guys over here. And I know there's a fireball guy too up on that tower somewhere. Get the fuck out of here. Alright, come on. That was not good. Blocked my attack. And other guy, where are you? Torch boy. Okay. Yeah, I thought this should reset after I took out a group of enemies. Man, I fucked up in this castle. Okay, there's grace right here. Great, great. Let's touch some grace and level up. Level up. So I have 1600 if I want to get my strength up. How do I level up? Runes held. Oh. 2100 to level up. Okay. Need 500 more runes. Summoning pool, Stake of America. Oh shit.
Foul tarnish.
My first cutscene.
In search of the Elden Ring. Emboldened by the flame of ambition.
Fuck.
Someone must extinguish thy flame. Let it be Margit the Fell.
Dude, you got some growths on your head. Wait a second. Sure. Oh my god. Fuck. Whoa, come on, that's my jellyfish. Oh my god. Alright, I did about like a 10th of his health. Okay, my jellyfish has some good HP. It can take some hits. Alright, let's fucking do this. Oh, I can't use my fucking... Oh my god! Holy shit, bro. Oh my god. I fucking suck at this. Alright, come on. Come on, Jelly Boy! Dude, I'm just getting so wrecked. Whoa! Ugh! Come on, Jelly Boy, we got him! Come on, keep your eyes on me. Okay, I get it, bro. Oh, what the fuck? Not that button. Oh, no. No. Urgent heal. Wow, that did not heal enough. Holy god! The jellyfish poison. He was at less than half health. I feel like I have a chance of doing this. Hold on, I need some politics to help me get through this. Let's listen to... Okay, what was I gonna listen to? Which has a Hassan problem. About Hassan's defamation. Legal mindset. Mindset, Marjorie Taylor Greene.
One of the hardest hit spots from the flooding, as Mike mentioned, is Camp Mystic. It's in Kirk County. Camp Mystic did not evacuate before the floods hit. Joining us now for tonight.
Playing. Oh, Fox News? Yeah, they did not evacuate before the floods hit. Let's see. What's that one's name? Laura Ingram? I wanted to see her show on about Zoran Mamdani. The Ingram angle. I'm an uninformed leftist. Laura Ingram, where's her show? The Ingram angle, Friday, July 4th. It's locked? You have to pay for it? I have to subscribe for this shit? Xfinity? Alright, well, anyway, do I dare put on the Cursed Jubilee? Alright, let's watch this. Bill Maher. versus Charlie
Club Random
Kirk.
is brought to you by the audio marketing gurus at Radioactive Media. They believe it.
He's gonna help Bill Margit versus who's a good analogous character for Charlie Kirk in Elden Ring? Maybe the finger fetish witch.
Us.
Well, our game. Or me.
Is there someone with you?
No. Thanks for having me.
You're not expecting trouble, are you?
Not quite.
You travel with security?
Unfortunately.
You do?
Yeah.
Wow.
Unfortunately.
Like what kind?
Well, security.
Well, I'm sorry
Secure?
that you have to do that, but that's the price of fame. And boy,
motherfucker.
I mean, man, you're everywhere. You're
we
like
have
the new It Boy podcast. No, it's true.
We have different jihadis that want to kill me. The purple-haired jihadis, the woke guys.
I'm so bad at this. What the fuck?
Oh, they really do.
No, you've been very outspoken on the woke stuff.
Yes. I mean, and they, just the way within a religion, they hate their own apostates.
Oh my god. Literally right off the bat, Charlie Kirk is like, oh yeah, I have other jihadis that hate me. So, Islamophobia right there, being like, oh yeah, the Muslims want to kill me. And then he's saying that it's the purple-haired jihadis, so like queer people want to kill him. And Bill Maher eats it up, dude. Bill Maher's an embarrassment.
I would say they hate me more because I'm supposed to like get on the short bus to Crazy Town with them, and I will. And yet I'm still a liberal and still like, you know,
I can't do that. I'm too slow.
Trump and what he's doing, I'm not down with. But you know,
motherfucker, dude.
It's always the people
Holy
who
shit.
are closest who think.
I'm just getting wrecked by this guy.
Gosh, you're a traitor somehow.
I was going to ask, is it because they thought you were one of them and that...
I am one of them. They're not one of me. I'm okay. It's the liberals who have...
So they've left you, not you left.
Yeah, well,
I
I feel
fair.
like there's... Liberal and woke are two completely different things. It was the theme of my last stand-up special that I just did a few months ago.
Stellar fucking stand-up.
I mean, it wasn't the whole special, of course, but it was a large part of it devoted to that, to proving that case that, you know, what liberals believe, woke is something completely different. It's very often the opposite of it. You know, liberalism is, let's live in a colorblind society. That's the goal. Woke's goal is, we see race everywhere.
Race obsession.
Yes. Okay. So that's not liberal. You changed. Liberal is there a two-state solution. Woke is river to the sea. Okay. Those are.
Dude, immediately. Liberal is two-state solution. Woke is from the river to the sea. So woke is advocating for equal rights for everyone. He just brings it up unpromptedly. This guy is such a Zionist piece of shit.
So just don't take my word and say you're that. You took this and took it to. You got off the F train, you fell asleep, and you got off the 20 stops too far, and don't blame me for that. Drink?
No, I'm good, thank you.
You don't drink?
No.
Or smoke pot? And you're married and super Christian. We're gonna go on great.
No, this is gonna just be perfect.
But can I just ask you, because I want to find out a lot about you, because you're obviously a super bright guy, but you do think that I have the right to live completely opposite than you do.
I think you can get as drunk as you do.
No!
And you're that kind of an American, right? You're not.
That's my first time dying by falling.
But you're not forcing your opinions as.
I'm not here to say you can't. What are you talking about?
No, okay. So you think pot should be legal?
That's a complicated.
Oh,
I have a very unpopular view on pot. You know, can I tell you my case on pot?
Please do.
It's not the depression that it might be causing or the fact that it might be hurting kids' brains. It's the smell. It's the stench that drives me crazy.
Yeah, it's not hurting their brains. I mean, kids shouldn't do it. Of course, kids shouldn't. It definitely didn't hurt my brain.
But let me ask, do you think that more teenagers are doing pot
definitely didn't hurt my
today,
brain.
or that before legalization or after legalization?
You know what?
Do you think usage rates are going up or down? I don't know the answer.
Oh, you'll be fascinated by this because, you know, I'm not married, so I go out. So sometimes I'm out with like people who are a great deal younger than me. I don't know how they get in my group, but they do. And so I've been to sometimes parties like the Hollywood parties, and this is probably not.
Bro, Bill Maher, people like it when people act their age. People don't like it when a lecherous old man interviews like a 20-year-old girl who only got famous for a sex joke that she made, and then you're like, wow, I'd love to know what it's like to be a 20-year-old girl. And people also don't like it when you say, I go out with people that are much younger than me. Yeah, that's not a good thing, bro.
Most of America exactly this way, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's that different. And first of all, in this town, it's all run by like the Nepo babies. The Nepo babies, the trust fund kids, is all these little 22-year-old
The J.B. Pritzker types.
Well,
I'm kidding.
No, I'm sure. I know who you mean. The governor of Illinois.
He inherited the Hyatt.
Oh, sure.
You know,
well,
Nepo baby.
We invented Nepo baby out here. Okay. But yes, it's everywhere now, even on the Lakers.
Hey, that's real privilege there. You know, you got some privilege if you can get.
Well, okay. I don't want LeBron mad at me like he is.
Leave my jellyfish alone.
My friend Stephen A. But I mean, that is.
All right. Target my jellyfish.
But,
I'm gonna
the
die.
point is that when you go out to these, I've been to these parties where like it's a bunch of 20.
You not reacting, but you're freebooting his content, dude. I literally am reacting to what he's saying. What are you talking about?
22-year-old kids, and none of them are smoking pot. Why? They're on real drugs. Pot's so like my generation. It's like I couldn't find pot at one of these parties. I was the only. They were asking me for it. The few kids who want it. They take this. They've
like
got
psychedelics or
correct.
mushrooms, LSD.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, ketamine, whatever.
Oh, ketamine. That has some medicinal
Molly,
property, but not at a party.
It's all ingested before they even leave the house. So that's where the good news, parents, your kids aren't on pot.
Yeah, but they're on
way worse, I think.
They're on a big trip. So, but do you think that since we've legalized, less teenagers are doing, like 13, 14, 15-year-olds? Because that was always the argument, right? If we legalize it, less kids would do it.
I don't know what 14-year-olds are doing.
What?
No, I don't know
the
answer.
argument.
That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
I think people wanted it legal because it should be a right for people to smoke pot.
But we also should be able to agree that we shouldn't force adults to organize their lives around what kids might get into.
That's a good argument. I mean, do you think that it's...
I mean, you're not against porn, are you?
Well,
he is.
I actually once struggled with porn. Thankfully, I'm free of that. But I mean...
How can you struggle with it?
I mean,
it's so easy.
People can get addicted to it. Same way people can struggle with gambling.
I mean, it can...
I know, I was kidding.
No, but no, I mean, yeah, I don't have that issue anymore, thankfully. But I would ask the question, though, like, do you think since the legalization of marijuana in LA, it's made a better or worse place?
No.
Or just it hasn't changed at all?
Fuck.
It certainly hasn't changed my life.
Okay.
I grew up...
Yo, whose life has it changed, dude? Like, some drugs people are gonna do whether it's legal or not. Anyway, this is such an old and tired conversation that these two are having.
Right outside here.
Like, it's the one thing that people like Rogan and Maher have a difference with people like Charlie Kirk over. Like, a meaningful difference. Like, they can and ha about the fascism that Trump is ferrying into this country. But really, they're not affected by it because they're rich. So the only thing that they're actually affected by is the fucking weed conversation. And I guess, like, maybe some of the more draconian policies that conservatives want, like child marriage and a banning of porn.
Do you think the quality of life has gone up or down?
Well, I don't know, but that's not really the relevant question, is it? Even if there is a deleterious effect, there is too many things we do, and we would not use that as a reason.
Dude, what an insane question. Oh my god. Being like, oh, weed was legalized however many years ago. Has the quality of life gone up or down? Like that has any kind of bearing. Like, obviously it's just completely non-causal at all. And it's a bullshit metric too. Oh, has the quality of... What are you talking about, quality of life? You need to actually have metrics that can give us an idea of quality of life. You can't just say, oh, is the quality of life gone up or down? Because if you get into any of the metrics, like people's mental health, people's economic status, their ability to have families, their ability to have leisure time. None of that has anything to do with pot at all.
Prescribe our basic freedoms.
Should people, be able to do drugs outside, like on the street, or?
No, definitely not on the street.
Okay, so there are some limits.
Of course there are limits,
Yeah.
yes. And maybe of certain drugs, or certain drugs should be by prescription, as we do with pharmaceutical drugs, But certainly pot is more benign than alcohol. I mean, I could give you the stats on that. We all know that. Is it health food? No. I'm not crazy like some of my hippie friends are, trying to portray it as something that's actually good for your lungs. But I don't think it's a trade-off. When you're an adult, you have the right to make trade-offs. Trade-offs is the essence of life. I'm going to have this piece of cake tonight and be a little fatter tomorrow, or I'm not going to do that and feel better tomorrow. And we all make those choices on a daily basis with everything. Yes, have I probably cut off some years of my life, maybe with pot? Who knows? I may have increased them because it helped me. Certainly made me richer. It made me better at my job, better at writing, better at a lot of things I like to do. So, I might be living in a 2-bedroom apartment in Van Nuys if it wasn't for pot, and I'm probably going to live longer here.
Or who knows how successful you could have been without it.
That's true too. That is true too.
Do you think there's any?
Well, at the end of the day, it's just people making decisions on how they want to live their lives, and as long as things aren't a harm to other people around them, then it should be legal. Like smoking indoors that harms other people around them. But as a society, I think it's good when we give people more freedoms rather than less freedoms, which is what Charlie Kirk is advocating for.
Merit to the argument that the pot has more THC and is more intense than it was 30, 40 years ago.
It's so hard.
I don't know. I hear these things and...
Oh, I hear those things too, and I'm sure that's true because once it became as commercialized as it has, of course you're going to try to maximize the potency of it. Just because the customer comes back, just like a restaurant, is not interested in your health. They're interested in making the food
selling more product,
delicious as they can, so you come back to that restaurant. So, but it's so hard for me to tell you because I've been smoking for 50 years, and I'm different. Who knows what I was thinking? I remember when I first smoked, we would just sit in the car and laugh at nothing for an hour.
Ugh.
That doesn't happen anymore. So my guess is the pot is stronger, but my resistance is weaker. Okay. Anyway, it's, I'm, people think I'm some sort of giant pothead. I've always been very
addictive drugs aren't good for you.
I mean, I don't smoke every day. The most I smoke is right here, once a week. I like to be in party mode.
Bro, how is Bill Maher losing an argument to Charlie fucking Kirk? I am screwed. It's actually losing an argument to Charlie Kirk on the question of pot.
When I'm with someone I'm getting to know. I this is one of the joys of my life. And, I understand that it doesn't connect with some people or it makes some people paranoid or something, but other people, it's just, some people like a scotch and some people like blah, 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 and some people like complete sobriety. If that's your thing, that's fine. But to me, the most interesting place I can ever travel is inside my own mind. And drugs do help you get there.
The most interesting place he can travel is in his own mind. Oh my god, that is the perfect one-sentence encapsulation of Bill Maher. What a pompous ass, dude. Oh fuck, I just took a stick to the fucking head. Alright, Jellyfish, you got this, buddy. Alright, come on. Come on, Margie. Oh, that was close. Oh, shit, that was really close. Oh my god. Bro! He jumps back and throws a fucking dagger. The bitch. The knives are so hard to deal with. Jump off the edge. God, how am I not dead? Oh, fuck. The hammer AoE attack is crazy. Like, if I go eat McDonald's every day, that'd be bad. Yeah, should we ban McDonald's because some people eat it every day and it makes people feel good, but then, like, after they eat it for a while, it makes them feel shitty? Like, this is such an annoying conversation to have because people like Charlie Kirk that are just religious theocrats, like they're theocratic fascists, can just sit there and be like, okay, and you think pot is good, it's a net good for society. And it's like, it's not up to us to determine if pot is a net good for society. It's up to him to prove that, like, it should be made illegal, and making it illegal would be more of a benefit than just oh my god, he's attacking me. Would be more of a benefit to society than making it legal. And then you've got to get into the actual nitty-gritty of how you would enforce that and all of the harm that would be caused from enforcement of it. The harm that we've seen happen, and we've decided against that enforcement. Like, we've seen the war on drugs, we've seen the harmful effects of criminalizing weed and how such a small, ultimately meaningless thing can dramatically change people's lives. And as a society, we've come to the determination that it's not worth criminalizing.
Is there...
And then Bill Maher, he's not gonna, like... He's just, like, too fucking stuck up and in his own head to actually... Oh, God. Argue for society's sake, and he's just arguing. He's like, well, I like weed. It makes me feel young and cool. I kind of wish I had those kukris still. Oh god. Can I go through here? Oh. Bro just skewered me.
Do you think all hard drugs should be illegal? Like heroin?
Illegal? No. I mean, well,
try this a few more
heroin,
times.
is there any uses for it? I mean...
Like for what San Francisco did, they pseudo-legalized it, right? I mean, they said, hey, we're going to make it easier for you to do heroin.
No, we shouldn't make it easier. That's crazy.
Pseudo-legalized.
Where they had drug injection sites, basically.
Bro, it's making it safer for people who are drug addicts. That's not pseudo-legalizing it. That's literally helping people to not fucking die. That's a crazy framing from Charlie Kirk. And the fact Bill Maher didn't push back against that at all is just so indicative that he doesn't actually give a fuck about, like, helping people. Like, his liberal politics are a politics of superiority. If he feels like he can be superior by taking a political position, then he'll take that position. Eat my lead. Oh god, okay. Wow, that was horrible.
Yeah, that's so sad.
No, I know, but that was a public policy position of Seattle, Portland, and San Francisco.
That's the low-lying fruit for you right-wing.
No, that's a question.
No, but isn't it?
I want to create...
It's the low-lying fruit. It's like no...
Sure, it's a...
Right.
It's a boundary. I want to create a boundary.
And you're right. You know, I mean, again, I'm for picking that fruit, too. It's silly to help drug addicts be drug addicts and keep them on the street. It's stupid to keep homeless on the street.
Oh, I totally agree.
There's another way. Liberals are different than the woke. The liberal thing forever was, for compassion's sake, get them off the street. That's not the woke version. Their version is, they're an endangered species. Don't touch them in their natural habitat, living under a bridge.
Let them defecate. Let them do whatever they want.
It's their thing. And, you know, I mean, there should be nothing more basic than a government claiming the streets. The streets are for the citizens.
Cleaning the
streets? It's not to
streets?
live in. Build a barracks. I mean, why are these things, maybe you can answer, why are these kind of things so difficult? You think such common sense. Build a fucking barracks. I know homeless people say they don't want to live there. You don't have a choice. Oh, we'll get robbed there. Hire security. It's pennies on the dollar.
Or you could just build cheaper housing, low-income housing.
With no real knowledge of this
barracks.
field, could do it. Could just, if I had people who would carry out I would say, okay, get me specs. I want to see where a place we could build it. I want to see what the barracks looks like. I want to see who works there. Is it really, in the toilets, whatever. And somebody must be, Mitt Romney, somebody who did the Olympics, somebody who could come in and
we know how to clean up the streets. I mean, Gavin Newsom cleaned up the streets of San Francisco when Xi Jinping showed up. I mean, it's just an act of the will. They don't want to do it.
Right, like when they get the whores off the street, when the mayor is like doing one of those cleanup.
Okay, so is Gavin Newsom the woke then? Gavin Newsom's the woke because he's not the liberal, right? Because if he was the liberal, he'd be cleaning up the streets, but he's didn't clean up the streets. Right. Lock in. Oh, no, I was not locked in.
Or like when the MLB All-Star Game goes to Seattle, all of a sudden it's America's cleanest city.
Right. So you're saying if we can do it that one day.
Well, I'm saying it's an act of the will. It's all that it is. And look, left woke, I wouldn't even say left, woke philosophy
to home people
is they believe, they don't really believe in private property. And at its core, why shouldn't someone be able to defecate on the side of the street? Who are you to judge?
Well, that's not woke, yes, maybe.
I'm saying woke, not even liberal.
Right.
I'm making that distinction,
Right,
which I think is
good.
a fair distinction.
That's another reason. Another one we can add to the list of woke is not liberal.
No, I think left versus liberal or woke versus liberal is an important distinction.
Right.
I will say what makes you different is few liberals stand up to the woke.
And
few liberals are willing to stand up to woke.
Absolutely. And few conservatives stand up to Trump.
Fair enough.
Oh,
I mean, you
wow.
can stand up
Finally,
or disagree, but I guess
one
you can say the
attack
question,
from Bill
is
Maher.
Trump, woke is an ideology. Is Trump an ideology? I mean, he's a person. MAGA is an ideology. But I mean,
yeah, no. MAGA is the ideology of Trump, of saying Trump's the greatest. Trump's not an ideology. Trump is the ideology. This is so ridiculous. Wow, this shield is fucking useless. What the fuck? Oh my god. And the shield has to do something. Wow, he juked me out.
I disagree with Trump on a lot of stuff. I mean, I don't think we should go to war with Iran. I think that'd be a big mistake.
Also, when you get to, we're going to send homegrown American citizens to foreign prisons.
Oh, so the thing he said, you mean?
Homegrown.
To Bukele.
Americans.
No, and if he were to do that, I would.
All right, one more.
But I think that is a one-liner that he gave to Bukele. I think that is, you met the man.
Yes.
Do you think he actually believes that? Like he would do that?
It's worse if he does or would. It's still horrible that an American president would say that. Look me in the eye and tell me if Obama had said that, what your reaction would be.
Wouldn't like it.
Wouldn't like it. I think it would be a little more vitriolic than that.
We'd be
apoplectic.
Can I use this? Oh, no.
I'm finding out how honest you are, Charlie, and so far I think you're doing good.
Come in here?
And I hope I'm doing good with you. Because if we don't have the honesty, we can't really,
Look, but to be fair to the whole, topic in general, the outrage around deportations, as we've seen, these last couple of.
Bro, notice the flow of this conversation where they're like, oh, well, I don't know if I would really like it if Trump deported American citizens. And I mean, none of the Republicans criticized Trump. And Charlie's like, okay, that's fair. But like the left wants homeless people to be able to shit on the side of the road. And Bill Maher's like, well, I think that's too far. But I think liberals should just put all the homeless people in an asylum and keep them there. Because that's where they're the happiest. just completely leaning towards the right, and just the most tepid of criticism they could possibly levy against conservatives. With the most egregious shit too, like deporting American citizens to a foreign death camp, and that's the type of and then you get Bill Maher's criticism of, well, I mean, that's a little too far. Imagine if Obama was doing that. And Charlie's like, yeah, I guess I wouldn't like it. I know. I think it's just kind of ridiculous. Holy shit on the cross. Okay. Alright, let's kill some more of these goons. Wow. Worse than I thought it was, I did.
Last couple of weeks is like the American people voted for it. It's perfectly legal.
Well, they didn't vote for.
They did vote for mass deportations.
People without any. I mean,
you mean that Maryland case is what you're talking about, right?
The guy who they're trying, who they said,
MS-13 member.
Well, there's no evidence that he's. They did not present evidence. I mean, I don't really want to get into the weeds on this one because I got to do it on my show Friday, but the Supreme Court, I guess we have to get into the weeds.
There's even new evidence in the last couple of hours that I don't. You lead the conversation.
Bro.
You tell me how deep you want to go on it.
None.
Okay.
I mean, but I hope that if it comes to light, let me button it up this way. I hope that if it does come to light, that there really is no evidence that this guy was a gang member, that he got swept up, which is very understandable. That when you do a sweep, when you're doing big things, yes, nothing is going to go perfect. But if it does come to light, I would hope that some Republicans have the spine to say, yeah, that's not right. This guy should not be there. I mean, the Bill of Rights, it's pretty clear that you can't just disappear people without any sort of trial.
Well, but sorry to interrupt.
And deportation is not the same thing as sending someone to a prison.
But you are allowed to deport under the Alien Enemies Act.
Correct.
Someone who is part of a recognized terrorist organization, which MS-13 is
let's go clear.
Pretty close to a terrorist organization.
Yeah. Okay. I mean,
pretty close to a terrorist organization. The Alien Enemies Act is an act depicting the enemies of the state as an invading army, not a terrorist organization. That's completely different. That's why it was struck down in courts, because Trump was claiming that MS-13 was an invading army. We're not at war with Venezuela, which is where the Alien Enemies Act came from, or where Trump said that MS-13 came from. And yeah. Oh, it's very close to first of all, it's very close to a terrorist organization. First of all, what the fuck? I'm literally gonna fucking die here. Oh my god. I'm so bad at this game.
He's not an American citizen. You got to acknowledge that.
No, absolutely not.
So that's important.
But he wasn't here illegally either.
No, he was.
Illegally.
Yeah, the Maryland man. As long as we're not talking about two different cases.
We're talking about Garcia.
Yes, he was an illegal immigrant to the country.
I thought he was waiting for asylum.
You could be illegal waiting for asylum.
I see. So you can't. So they could
deport him. The legal process is
Yes.
you apply for asylum. That's the legal process. Be illegal. Wow. How does Bill Maher not know any of this? Why is he just letting Charlie Kirk explain everything to
But
him like
we
he's
never
a
did it.
child.
But to a prison.
It's an edge case. I acknowledge it's on the edge.
Okay,
but,
good.
No, but the edge is, so there's 3 ways you can deport people. It could be the Alien Enemies Act of 1798. It can be
used only 3 times.
That's fine, but hey, look, and you quote the First Amendment all the time. That's from 1787, right? So old things are
Yeah, the
are
First
important.
Amendment is a little bit more important than
I'm
that.
just saying, just
But
because it's
that's
old.
been used. That's been used more than 3 times.
Fair enough, but just because things are old doesn't mean, and I'm not saying
No.
you're using
No,
that talking
I
point,
get-
but some
I-
people are trying to invalidate it just because it's old.
Well,
It's also expedited release.
they're trying to invalidate it because it doesn't really apply to this. That it's stretching.
I mean,
it.
how
I thought it was doing good that round. Wow, this conversation is so
was
dumb.
MS-13 not a terrorist organization?
Yeah,
I mean,
Yeah, you can make
or
that.
Tren de Aragua. I mean,
Well, I mean,
organized
because
funding.
because terrorism really is a political movement. It means terrorizing the civilian population to achieve a political goal. These guys just want to grab your locket. You know, this is
It's a little more than that,
oh, yeah, a lot more than that. Look, I've said that all this stuff I don't like about Trump. I did it in my piece the other week when I was talking about the meeting at the White House. That no, he was tweeting about me. I've never liked anything. No, check the tape. There are things I like, and one thing I liked was that the police have their morale back maybe now. And you know, when you live in a city, it's not a good thing when the police lose their morale because they feel like they've been painted with a broad brush, which they were after 2020, you know, and they're like, okay, you know, and I've been very critical of the cops when I think they did bad things, but do I think
Holy
it's
shit, bro.
it's a
Absolutely getting
racist,
right.
you know, attack squad? It's not. There's issues. There's always issues in everything.
Big organization.
And you know, when you insult the cops, they have a way of kind of brooding about it, and it's just not a good place to be when you're a city dweller. And so, you know, I don't want to be killed by a gang member because they do random killings, you know, just as gang initiation so they can get the fucking teardrop under their eye. Okay, I want to be someone's teardrop tattoo, you know, rando out to dinner. So I get it, you know, I mean, these are the things that lost the Democrats the election.
100%.
You know, you got to take care of this shit. I was just,
And there's real Americans that died.
Gangs
Rachel
killing
Moore and
people
Lake
is what
Riley.
lost
There's
the
real
Democrats the election?
Jocelyn.
well,
the
probably
fuck are
not
you
at
talking
greater
about?
rates than are killed by regular Americans.
That's
So-
debated, but let's just put that aside. They shouldn't be here. And so none of those murders should have happened, right? And so, anyway, back to the core question. Does the president have the ability to remove illegals that have come here under an enemy gang? Of course he does. Yeah. He has the power given to him by that law.
Hey, do you want a
Yeah,
little more
he
random
doesn't
in your
have the
life?
power
Go
to
to
do
your
that without a
online merch
trial.
store at clubrandom.com and get some Club Random merch. We've got great fitting premium hoodies, t-shirts, and ringers, all super soft and
Ethical
printed with
reactions.
high-quality inks. We've also got stuff to elevate your
I'm
bar
so
with
done.
Club Random mugs, tumblers, and decanters. For your spirit of choice or for sparkling water like me, then you can add your Jing drops. Everyone can ask you what you're dosing yourself with. More than so, need just 5 or less. Gives you
Bro, 5 minutes of ads?
famously, and I love Larry. I did a show a billion times.
He was a legend.
Yeah,
I never met him.
And his thing was like, I don't prepare. I'm like the regular guy who just wants to know. He's curious about this person, so I don't know. So I ask the questions that this person would ask. You, Charlie Kirk, you're 31 years old. You're Jewish, right? No.
Yeah, that's Muslim, actually.
You're married?
Yes, sir.
How long you been married?
It will be 4 years in May.
Wow. And kids?
2 kids. Yeah.
2 kids already?
Yeah. Well, we got to work.
Ew.
Now, Charlie, it shouldn't be work. That's all I'm going to say. I'm
metaphor.
kidding, I know.
It's an enjoyable work.
understand.
It's
Oh, what the fuck is
okay.
this
We got
band
to the
going
fun
on
ones.
about?
And you're going to have more?
God willing.
God willing. Right. And you know we don't see eye to eye on the religion thing.
You know,
But-
someone told me that.
I got to tell you, you should see my movie Religion.
I actually saw it.
Oh, really?
And to your credit,
Thank you.
what you did on Islam was awesome.
Bro, he's so racist.
The other one's not so much. That's
Correct.
right, buddy. That's
Secondly,
great.
so if you just isolate the Islamic part.
But it was funny.
Secondly,
I love
Jesus,
how
to your
his
credit,
character
you
that
treated
he's
woke
playing
like
now
religion.
is just openly bigoted against Muslims. Like, I guess I don't know if he's always been like this. God, I'm so bad at this game. I don't know if he's always been like this, but like, he's just like, yeah, I'm racist against Muslims. That's my inside joke. Oh, you made fun of Muslims? Loved that. I didn't like where you're making fun of white people, but you know, we all can't get what we want. You got to take the bad with the good.
And you criticize them with the same
Yeah,
intensity and
yeah,
ferocity
yeah.
you did, and that you deserve a lot of credit for that.
Thank you. I
No, I mean
appreciate
that
that.
because you looked at it as this has
Right.
a catechism, it has religious type
Totally.
undercurrents, it has almost a metaphysical presence to itself, and so you're an equal opportunity critic.
I mean, yeah. And it's funny because the director of Religulous, Larry Charles, and I had dinner about a year ago, and I suggested, and of course it went nowhere because we're both too old to like really act on it. But I said, people keep asking me, and I'm sure him also, to do Religulous too. But when they say it, they think we're gonna, now we're gonna go to India and make fun of the Hindus. I'm like, I'm not doing that. Okay, I'm not going to India, and the Hindus aren't that funny. Okay, we did it.
The Hindus aren't that funny.
The movie did great, and we love that it stands the test of time. And
dude, Hindus aren't Hindus aren't funny. What the actual fuck? Like that? Why? Why are they not that funny? Because you don't know about them? Okay, come on. I pressed X there. Okay. Oh my god, the reach is crazy.
People always keep coming up to me and seeing it. Movies are amazing that way. But I said, somebody gave me a great idea. Why don't we do Religulous too, but the religion is wokeness?
Oh,
and then
Jesus
that's what I was
Christ.
suggested. And I said, yeah, but then you're going to have to do the right.
Okay, that might be the second best sentence to encapsulate Bill Maher. What was his first best? The most interesting place I could travel is inside my head. And now he's like, what if we do Religulous too, except the religion is wokeness? What a great demonstration for how Bill Maher has changed. From making fun of religious fundamentalists to making fun of people that want to save the lives of Palestinians and give them equal rights. Which, remember, he defined wokeness as wanting to give Palestinians equal rights. Bro, this guy is crazy. He's actually crazy good. The reach on his staff, he attacks with so many different things. Like his tail hits you. He can hit you when he's like whipping his staff up before he brings it up to bring it back down. Like, what the? Hold on. On my confessor armor. Because I think faster with this shit than my original getup. Plus I look cooler.
Right side of it too, because that's also a religion. Christian nationalism. I mean, come on, your boys, some of the people I think you're fond of, they mix religion and politics in a way that I think is not according to the Constitution, but I have to tell you, I'll give you a lot of credit. I saw a video of yours where you were talking about
Come on, Mark.
how Christy the original documents were, which is, you know, I mean, my view is that the founding fathers, we know a number of them were deists, mostly that was their religion, but you did, and you, boy, you have your facts down. I mean, you can spiel when you get on a subject like
I got
this.
the shtick down.
You really do. And I trust you, you know, I'm going by what you, but you know, that they were a little Christier than I thought, you know, and I'm always happy to learn new information. And if it doesn't satisfy people that I don't stay exactly where I am, it satisfies the people who are actually my fans, who always want me to do that, to be like, oh, if I take in new information, I mean, that's why, you know, the far left hates me because I went to the White House and said, well, privately, Trump's different.
And good for you for saying that.
And I didn't give an inch on anything I believe. I confronted him on
it's
things
doing propaganda
that I
for
think,
Trump.
you know, he maybe never hears from anybody else, but that's not good enough for them because, you know, they had to. But no, if you take in new information, just tell me. And so I do think, after listening to your spiel, that yes, they were a little more into Jesus than I thought. I mean, I know Jefferson wrote that Bible and took all
he heavily edited it.
Shit.
Took all the miracles out. He took all the religiosity out of it and just made him a
moral teacher,
a moral philosopher. You know, you have to admit that's not exactly the act of a Christy person.
No, but at least he acknowledged that there was something profound there. Got to give him credit for that.
I could even acknowledge that.
Okay, that's good. No, I'm glad to hear you say that.
Jesus as a philosopher was a true revolutionary. I mean, when he said the meek shall inherit the earth, I think the response was,
blessed are the peacemakers.
Yeah, but the idea that it gets good in the next life was fairly, I think, revolutionary. And the fact that, you know, if you're a good person in this life, there's a much greater, this is just the pregame. You want the after party. And the after party is just going to be fucking awesome. You're up there with me and my dad, God.
Bro, is he really talking about the revolutionary thoughts of Jesus now? First of all, I don't know if there's any evidence that Jesus was a revolutionary guy. Like, I guess he was preaching against the fucking government of the time, but were those really thoughts that no one's ever had before? No one's ever preached them to other people before? Like, what? No, man. What is the point of this podcast other than to get conservatives to watch Bill Maher? I think that's like what we need to figure out when we watch this. Oh man, I thought I was doing amazing with that dodge. Holy shit. Oh, I'm dead. Oh, fucking Christ. Drink again. Like, every single thing coming out of Bill Maher's mouth is an attempt to get Charlie Kirk's audience. Oh yeah, I'm gonna make a movie making fun of the left for their religious thinking. Which I love, by the way. There's nothing a religious fundamentalist hates more than someone else's religion. And so when they can say that leftists have a religion, they'll do it and then make fun of you for it. Oh, wait. Holy shit. Oh my god. Well, you're poisoned, so if I can run out the clock, maybe I'll actually beat you. Oh wow.
And
me and my dad go, Bill should ask that Minecraft head is Jesus is almost here due to the floods going on in Texas.
I thought. I mean,
yeah,
I know.
Come on, Bill. Isn't Bill Maher Jewish too? Didn't he make that a big deal when he's like, people like Gaza, but I support Israel and I'm Jewish? Like, he's the guy that's gonna talk about how great Jesus is. Are you fucking serious? Your whole thing is to shit on religion, but now you're like, I actually like Jesus, and I think the left is the real religious-minded freaks.
I believe I confronted him on things that I think, you know, he maybe never hears from anybody else, but that's not good enough for them because, you know, they had to. But no, if you take in new information, just tell me. And so I do think, after listening to your spiel, that yes, they were a little more into Jesus than I thought. I mean, I know Jefferson wrote that Bible and took all.
He heavily edited it.
Took all the miracles out. He took all the religiosity out of it and just made him a moral teacher, a moral philosopher. You know, you have to admit that's not exactly the act of a Christy person.
No, but at least he acknowledged that there was something profound there. Got to give him credit.
I would even acknowledge that.
Okay, that's good. No, I'm glad to hear you say that.
Jesus as a philosopher was a true revolutionary. I mean, when he said the meek shall inherit the earth, I think the response was...
Blessed are the peacemakers.
Yeah, but the idea that it gets good in the next life
I can't laugh out like
was
this.
fairly,
I just got half health.
I think, revolutionary. And the fact that, you know, if you're a good person in this life, there's a much greater...
There's no pause? What's the pause button?
You want the after party. And the after party is just going to be fucking...
God damn it, I was off to a good start, and then they're like, blessed is the peacemakers is profound. When Jesus said, the meek shall inherit the earth, my tongue dropped out of my mouth and I had to do a double take because that was something that I've never heard of before. What the fuck are you talking about? Honestly, how is that good philosophy? Just saying that the meek shall inherit the earth. Much gold summon sign. Oh wait, there's a cooperator? Oh. Okay, whatever. Guess I need all the help I can get. Roger. The meek... Bro, the meek shall inherit the earth. That's some sick-ass shit. I live my life by those words. That was fucking hilarious.
I mean, when he said the meek shall inherit the earth, I think the response was...
Blessed are the peacemakers.
Blessed are the peacemakers.
But the idea that it gets good in the next life was fairly, I think, revolutionary. And the fact that...
No, it wasn't.
If you're a good person in this life, there's a much greater... This is just the pregame. You want the after party.
Bro, literally every religion has a form of an afterlife and rules that you need to follow. Wow. Heaven? Who's ever conceived of that before? Wow, I completely whiffed. Alright, well. Actually, maybe I should do the AoE attack. Oh god. Oh fuck, I'm dead too. Margot is almost dead. Actually, he probably could have died. Oh, he did die. He died to the jellyfish. Wait, so did I beat him or not? I died, but he died too. Well, I guess I didn't. Has Bill heard of Valhalla? Meek Mill shall inherit the earth. Alright, guys. Enough. Wait, I beat him. Even though I died. What the fuck? Damn, 9,000 runes from that? Well, that's kind of sad. I literally was making fun of Bill Maher as I just let Roger and the jellyfish kill him. Can I fight him again if I, like, come back here? At least I did it wearing my badass motherfucking cape. Alright, Stormvale Castle. Yeah, I beat him while I was literally dead. The jellyfish
And
poison.
the after party is just going to be fucking awesome. You're up there with me and my dad, God.
Dude, Bill Maher looks like the fucking priest that gets blown by I was going to say one of the altar boys, but let's just say a lonely Catholic mom. Like, he just looks like such a fucking creep, and he's like, oh yeah, man, like, I'm at the after party. Like, he looks like the priest that tries to hang out with the youth group and is like, hey, I'm a cool priest, I smoke pot. He's like, hey bro, you want some pot on like the high school retreat? He's smoking with the cool kids in the back. Oh hey man, the after party's gonna be so lit with me and my dad, bruh. Like, I know you crucified me, but this party's gonna be crucifying, you know what I mean, dude? Are you fucking serious right now, Bill? Trump's deporting American citizens. He's deporting immigrants with no due process, ripping apart people's families, and you're sitting there with Charlie Kirk, like one of the chief propagandists for this administration, and talking about how cool and revolutionary Jesus's philosophy was. Not because of the fucking like socialist tendencies that Jesus had, which probably was revolutionary at the time. Not saying that, oh yeah, you should treat like the rejects of society as if they were the ones that are only going to get into the kingdom of heaven and the rich aren't going to get in, like Bill Maher would be one of the rich people that can't get in. Not because he hangs out with the lepers and the prostitutes and all of the social rejects, which Bill Maher is literally being like, put them in the gulags, just build a barracks and force the homeless people to live there. I don't care if you don't want to. I don't care if you think you're going to get stolen from or robbed or beaten up or killed. Don't make it safer for drug addicts to administer drugs that they literally need. Otherwise, they'd probably die from withdrawal symptoms. Make them fucking die on the streets. Or just like, I don't know, I don't want to see them. But he thinks it's a revolutionary idea that there's going to be an afterlife. That's the revolutionary idea that Jesus brought into the world. Are you fucking kidding me, dude? He's literally ignoring all of the socialists, all of the social justice teachings that Jesus is famous for, and is like, yeah, dude, we're gonna have a party where we all smoke weed in the afterlife and it's gonna be lit. Come hang out with me and my dad. He's like, that's so deep. Man, like, the Bible really has some profound moments in it. You're citing the most religious of Jesus' teachings as the thing you find the most interesting? Like, Bill's such a fucking joke.
This is just, yeah. But the idea that a moral philosopher. Mm-hmm. No, you have to admit, that's not exactly the act of a Christy person.
No, but at least he acknowledged that there was something profound there.
So remember, Bill Maher says that Thomas Jefferson wrote down the moral teachings of Jesus.
Got to give him credit for that.
I could even acknowledge that.
Okay, that's good. No, I'm glad to hear you say
well,
that.
Jesus as a philosopher was a true revolutionary. I mean, when he said the meek shall inherit the earth, I think the response was...
Blessed are the peacemakers. Right?
Yeah, but the idea that it gets good in the next life was fairly, I think, revolutionary. And the fact that, you know, if you're a good person in this life, there's a much greater... This is just the pregame. You want the after party. And the after party is just going to be fucking awesome. You're up there with me and my dad, God, and it's just, you know.
What do you think would create a better society?
That's so fucking stupid. Anyway, guys, what should I level up here? I guess just a bunch of stuff, right? Bigger, mind. I don't know. I like the idea of being like a priest guy. Right. We got priestly guy, something like that. Broadsword. Something to fit this cowl that I'm wearing. Because it looks cool. Can't get in there, huh? Have to go here. Alright, let's continue this.
Or better action. People that think that there is an afterlife based on how you act, or people that think there isn't one?
That's a great question, because it certainly can turn people either way. It can make you fly planes into a building. I'm not speaking of any specific example.
I can't think of anything.
I can't either. But it can make you do that.
Well, I guess they are united in their Islamophobia.
It could also make you do, like, blow up Oklahoma City, too.
Yes. And it can also...
I fully acknowledge.
And I fully acknowledge that it also keeps millions of people in line. Like Mark Wahlberg. I'm guessing without Catholicism, he just looks like a guy who would be in a lot more trouble. But I think it just has made his life, you know, much more under control.
Who are they talking about?
Society.
Like Mark Wahlberg.
Mark Wahlberg? Dude, isn't Mark Wahlberg famous for doing hate crimes? Mark Wahlberg assaults. Did I spell that right? The Independent, Mark Wahlberg racist hate crimes. I guess this is in June of 2020. The full list of actors racially motivated attacks. Mark Wahlberg's history of racially motivated attacks has resurfaced after the actor was accused of hypocrisy for sharing a post supporting the Black Lives Matter movement. The TED star shared a picture of George Floyd. Okay, so what are his crimes? In 1986, the then 15-year-old Wahlberg and 3 friends were charged for chasing 3 black children and pelting them with rocks while yelling "kill the N-words" until an ambulance driver intervened. The next day, he harassed another group of mostly black children at the beach, gathering other white men to join in racially abusing and throwing rocks. Dude, the next day? This man is prolific. A seemingly unrelated incident occurred 2 years later when Wahlberg attacked 2 Vietnamese men while high on the drug PCP. Called one man Tan Lam a Vietnam effing S-word and knocked him unconscious with a 5-foot wooden stick. He hit him with a baseball bat while punching another man, Army veteran Johnny Trin, in the eye later in the same day. What the fuck? Later in this, why does he's like, when it rains, it pours, throw rocks at some black kids. I'm gonna go, the very next day, I'm gonna go to the beach and do it at another group. Oh, beat up one Vietnamese person with a wooden stick. Later in that day, I'm gonna punch another one in the eye. Holy shit, dude. Yeah, this is, oh, but I guess he's changed, right? In 2014, he attempted to seek pardon for the second attack and have it wiped from his criminal record, saying that while his celebrity should in no way, shape, or form be a reason to grant it, he hoped his recent actions would show that he had changed. Oh, why do you get something wiped from your criminal record because you've changed? I took it upon myself to own up to my mistakes and go against the grain and not be a part of the gang anymore. To say that I was going to go and do my own thing, he explained. It made 10 times more difficult to walk home to the train station and to go to school to go to work, but I also prided myself on doing the right thing and turning my life around. I would hope that people would be able to get a second chance in life. Oh, that's crazy. But I guess he was a teenager then, right? So he's, yeah, Catholicism kept him in line for sure. Okay. Hold on. Mark Wahlberg, priest. Father Stu. Boxer turned Catholic priest with a progressive muscle disorder. Okay, come on. I wonder if I can watch the trailer on the stream without it getting shut down. Let's watch the short trailer.
I figured it out.
7th time's a charm.
I'm being actor.
You don't belong with those LA folks. They're a bunch of fascist hippies.
Who do you think you're gonna be?
Fascist hippies. Oh, Mel Gibson, yes.
Next John Wayne?
Get yourself a marvelous mop. What can I get for you, miss? I got beef.
Let's not waste either of our time. I'm a Catholic. I can't date someone who isn't baptized.
Where's the water? I'll do it now.
You're getting into the fine print on this way of living, pal. Well, you got a long road ahead. Comes around. God is all about.
Anyway, copyright music. So that's Mark Wahlberg. Catholicism definitely kept him in line, I guess. Had nothing to do with his acting career and having to be a civil part of society.
I'm guessing with,
like, he literally said that he wanted to stop beating people up because he was part of a gang, and he didn't want to be pressured into doing that anymore.
without Catholicism, he just looks like a guy who'd be in a lot more trouble. But I think it just has made his life, you know, much more under control.
What's your evidence, Bill?
So there's one. Mark Wahlberg, I think, really benefits from Catholicism. But I think there's lots of people like that. They just Like, they truly are worried that if they do something out of line, illegal or immoral, that the devil will, in short order after they die, be poking them in the ass with a pitchfork, and so they don't do that. And I got to give it up. That's that is a positive.
Are you at all worried that when a nation becomes too secular, it might not know what it believes? There's no cultural cohesion. There's no glue that keeps it together.
Yeah, but this isn't that nation. This isn't secular. This is a bunch of fucking religious freaks.
Increasingly secular, though.
Well, thank you. I'm trying.
No, but
I appreciate it.
You are quite the evangelist for your cause of no afterlife and no creator.
You know what? It creeps up a little, but people always are going to want it. People always are going to want to believe a story. It's much better than the truth, which is that things are random.
Spoken like a true atheist.
We don't know the big questions. We don't know how we got here. We don't know why we're here. We don't know how the universe started. We're alone in the universe. Is there a God? What is the nature of God? Which one is the right God? We just don't. Nobody knows. I mean, that's why they call it faith.
Do you hope you're wrong? That's the most important question.
That's a great question.
You hope you're wrong? He didn't make any positive claims there. The only claim he made is that people are always going to have these questions. And then Charlie's like, do you hope you're wrong? Do you hope you're wrong about the claim that people always are going to question this? Okay. Am I actually stuck here? A ladder or something to climb out on?
How?
Do you hope there's a heaven?
Oh my God.
I hope they figure out how I can live forever. I like it here. With you, Charlie. Drinking this and smoking pot. I'm having a great time. I really can't imagine it better. I mean, I can't. And maybe it is. I'm sure it is. I'm sure, people have...
But something in you probably hopes that, I don't know.
Yes.
Hitler gets ultimate judgment. Or the most evil things, right? Something in you wants to see your loved ones, and
I don't think about Hitler.
No, but there's got to be a desire somewhere.
A lot of people just think about Hitler.
I
know, but I'm just saying Hitler comes up a lot. He really.
Fair enough. That there's a desire that there's something beyond this.
Well,
that is just.
Okay. Yes, I do, but. I mean, it's very hard to find that justice on earth. Ask an AIDS baby.
Oh, don't, Bill. That's why when you say, "Hey, I'm happy here," there's a lot of suffering on earth too, and that's that's the Christian argument.
And
right?
some of it is we obviously can see it comes from no bad deed done. Children with cancer.
Of course, it's.
And then they say, well, that's God works in mysterious ways, which is sort of a get out of jail card.
It's the
for
hardest.
Any kind of non-thinking.
Admittedly, it's the hardest. We as Christians have to explain unjust suffering. Atheists have to explain everything else.
How do you explain it?
We don't. It's hard. It's a mystery. We can say God works in mysterious ways. We can say original sin.
Oh my God,
However,
dude.
we don't have to explain
is this middle school
creation
level conversation?
Or the miracle of life or love or justice or.
We don't have to explain it either because it's not explainable because we don't know. We say we don't know. That's honest. You say, no,
right, this is ridiculous.
Somebody told a story a long time ago, and we're going to stick with that. That to me, I'm not trying to be insulting.
You can't offend me, trust me. I mean that. So you could be as crude or as blunt.
Okay,
I mean that. It's not.
But I find that intellectually embarrassing.
It's fine.
Spring is here, and the warm weather makes me want to get outside. Collectively realized.
Bro, this podcast is telling where the most replayed section is right after the ads. Like,
the only thing worse than someone forcing religion on you is when they do it by law. For membership information, text CLUB to 511-511. Text fees may apply.
What is this?
And so,
remember today. Join us. Go to FF. Whether you've always been secular or have left religion behind, believe in keeping faith out of our government. FFRF has your back. Join us. Go to ffrf.us/freedom or text CLUB to 511-511. Become a member today. Text CLUB to 511-511 or go to FFR.
Found Bill Maher 5,000 years after he tried to Not die.
You're tarnished, aren't you? I would advise against taking the main gate into the castle. It's tightly guarded by hardened old hands.
You?
Try the opening right
You're
here.
a chrysalid?
The guards don't know about it. You'll breach the castle undetected.
Cool.
Yes, that's the spirit.
Alright, you're a little eager for me to go over there.
Tarnished that I like. I pray for your success.
Alright, bro, keep it in your pants. Okay, what? Oh, shit. Where's the gate to the main castle? Alright, summoning pool. Okay, here we go. Rune. Is this where I just was stuck? Yeah, I think I was just stuck there. Okay, so you want me to go this way? Ruin fragment. This is a cool way. This is a cool designed level. Alright, Billy. So you're advertising religion with Charlie Kirk and then being paid to sponsor, or getting sponsored by an app or like a club or something that like fights against religion in government, while you're talking to a theocratic fascist and you haven't meaningfully pushed back against it at all?
rf.us/freedom. Because the only thing worse than someone forcing religion on you is when they do it by law. For membership information, text CLUB to 511-511. Text fees may apply.
And so, is there any part of the Bible you think is true?
Well,
no, it's
true.
an important question.
Well,
meaning, like when they were documenting King David, like
yes.
was King David a real figure?
There are shards of it that are, I'm sure.
So Jesus was a real person.
Well, that we don't know. That is not a definitive.
Okay,
it really is not.
Like take Paul. We both agree Paul was legit and a real person. Paul was a Jew, persecuted Jews, and then had his, road to Damascus moment. Why would he do that? Except for the fact that he's crazy or like delusional. What incentive would Paul have to do that? Rich,
maybe
ruling
he doesn't
class,
want to
gave
kill
up
people
everything.
Anymore.
You're saying to me, is there never a case of human delusion or mass delusion or people can? Why
there's suicide cults? Of course there are. No, I acknowledge that.
The human capacity to believe what's not true, to believe what you want to believe, is infinite. I mean, you are literally the person I'm talking about at the very beginning of the movie Religulous, because the very first scene, I'm sitting in the car and I'm saying, the movie is not a spiritual quest. I mean, that's what we told them, so they'd sign the release. The movie is me saying, I don't know how it could be
the whole ass
that so many
organization.
intelligent people can wall off a part of their mind and believe in something that part of their mind must know is not true. That's the question I'm going for in Religulous. And like, you're obviously a super smart guy.
And respectfully,
how old is this movie?
And again, I don't want to insult you on that. I appreciate you saying.
No,
Bill Maher Religulous. This came out in 2008. Oh, he had the same hairline back then. This came out in 2008, and they're still talking about it. He hasn't done shit since then. He's still talking about, oh, maybe I'll make a sequel. Dude, it's been 17 years. You're not going to make a sequel.
I mean, Bill, have you seen me go to college campuses? There's nothing that can fit.
But you understand my question, right?
Interestingly, ironically, I have the same struggle. I don't know how somebody as intelligent as you, and I'm not trying to offend you.
You cannot believe in a virgin birth?
Time out, hold on. All of that takes faith, I acknowledge, but that all of the fine-tuning of our universe, if any of those fine-tunings were
religious
off,
people really have nothing.
A famous scientist,
some of them are off.
A famous scientist said, to believe that universe and the Earth in its current
Birds.
composition was an act of randomness would believe that a hurricane would go through a junkyard and assemble a 737 flight-ready Boeing.
He's wrong.
Okay, that's fine, but there are so many fine-tuning aspects to our existence that I think defy the idea that this is all randomness and all chance. Now,
you know that's not logical. You're saying because I don't know the answer, I'm going to assume the answer must be that a divine intervention did it. That's not really a scientific way of looking at it.
The teleological view, not the cosmological view, is that all of these fine-tunings, when layered up one after the other, it defies, I think, reason to think that this is just a roll of the dice. That when you see a baby come into the world, when you see how we naturally heal, even consciousness itself, I think, is a pretty miraculous thing.
First, or
to
like
think that's all just
first,
a bunch of happy accidents.
But
I think it's more rational to think that that's a byproduct of design.
You're saying some prime mover made it so these things happen. I would say, if a prime mover could do that, why don't skip all the suffering and why don't you just get us to where we're the perfect thing? Why you need things, I don't know, but okay, the perfect being right away. We're somehow on this journey to being, completely immortal and healthy, I guess, and completely moral and don't fuck each other up and don't have sex with children and all the bad things we do.
All the evil of our world.
Yeah, all the evil
that did not work.
And the Holocaust. And why go through all that if you are a prime mover? I assume that means you can do anything. And just get us right to the end, and then we can just, why? Just a bunch of us walking around being perfect? I mean, why is that interesting to a God? The whole thing just don't make sense.
Interesting to anyone watching this?
That's a separate question, though, of whether or not there is something behind our existence. I mean, so we believe that the universe started with a Big Bang. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, but that's not the beginning of things. That's just the beginning of what the known universe is. The big question is what was before that.
And we believe it's a being, a God. That's always, that's a constant.
And look, I mean, the
Yeah, but once again, you have no evidence of that.
Atheism is that we say, oh, there's no God. No, we just say we don't know. As Richard Dawkins always says, there's theism, which is belief in gods, and they used to believe in many, and then it got to one, and we just believe in one less. So there's just not.
How would you differentiate that from agnosticism?
There isn't.
Okay.
That's another thing that's bullshit.
No, I don't. I'm just asking a good faith question.
No, I think a lot of atheists think that. A lot of people on my team with this, they have that view that, don't split hairs with the atheists and the agnostics. It's like, we're on some part of, I don't know, and I'll never know, so I really don't think about it a lot. I don't get up for church. I try to be a good person because I just think intrinsically it's good for society. It's good for me to be a good person as much as I can. And I don't need the threat of the pitchfork in the ass to do it.
What the?
Can I ask a question? So how but you even acknowledge, though, that some people act better if they feel as if they'll be judged eternally.
Totally.
Okay, no, that's a big admission. But
yes.
How do you think society best determines what is good?
Oh my God.
That's a great question. I mean, isn't that what government is always wrestling with? What makes society good?
Do you think, even as an atheist, the Ten Commandments, the right side of the Ten Commandments is a good place to start?
The right side.
Well, because the left side, I think you'd have a big problem, right?
I have a problem with 8 of the 10 because only 2 of them are laws.
You got a problem with 8 of the 10?
2 of them are laws. Only 2.
What do you mean?
Don't kill.
And don't steal. Okay.
And don't steal.
Sure.
This idea that God is this...
But you're good with those 2,
obviously. The first 4 are just jealous God shit. It's just like, you know what?
No,
God,
honoring your parents is not jealous God stuff.
God's like a pimp who was in the next room and he said, who you on the phone with there, girl?
Oh my God, I love Bill Maher's stand-up. It's so funny.
I guess I'm testing that.
Hold on, but no, it's again, I'm not offendable on this, but
who you on the phone with? Bro, what the fuck is Bill Maher doing? Come on, dude. Just are you gonna like dangle Jesus in front of Charlie Kirk's followers or not? Just accept it. Oh my God. Yeah, some people definitely act better because of the threat of an afterlife. I'm in favor of. And then he lets Charlie get away with saying like, "Oh, I'm in favor of half of the 10 Commandments." I suck at this game. Holy shit. Sheeny. Let's go. Stormhawk feather, nice. Oh my God. All right, where the fuck do I go from here?
I think you could have, I know you made fun of it in Religulous, but there's something beautiful about not working for a day.
Oh,
you know what I mean, like honoring the Sabbath.
Oh, a week is even better.
But like,
the Sabbath. No, I mean the Sabbath
but
is
slowing down and saying that we're not going to toil for a day.
But do you need? Why would you need a religion to get to that? Why would you need a religion to? Hey, let's not kill each other and take a day off. Like I don't need a threat or a carrot for that. It's just so intrinsic. It's so.
Once again, like you even said that religion is good for the people that need that kind of weight over them, and you're like, oh yeah, like when Charlie's like, well, wouldn't you feel better if holy God. Charlie's like, wouldn't you feel better if there was an eternal damnation? And Bill's like, yeah. Oh my fucking hell. Bill. Bro, the third one got me. Why is do not molest children not in the commandments? I mean, I just want a fucking real conversation from these two. None of this philosophical bullshit of like, oh, well, yeah, I guess I'd feel more comfortable if there was a hell that Hitler was burning in. Like, can we talk about the actual ramifications of religion and how this country has been completely taken over by religious fundamentalists that are basically believing in a holy war that Israel's doing? Well, we can't really talk about that because Bill's in support of what Israel's doing. Okay. I died a bit of a ways away, so I should try to kill these two birds. Wish I could do it with one stone. Fuck you. Oh, shit. These are harder to kill than Margit.
But it reminds me of the beginning of the Declaration of Independence.
If it's intrinsic, then why is it that a lot of countries that don't have Christianity struggle to come to these realizations? That
dude, Christianity's the same as Islam. It's the same as all of these religions. Oh my God. Oh, that's a lot of fucking birds. Fucking hell! They one-shotted me. Oh my God. Alright, I need to kill these birds and then I'm probably gonna I need to level up then. This is crazy.
For example, communist China. Again, no Hitler analogies, right? Under Mao, which was resolutely atheist, right?
Resolutely.
Yeah, I mean...
Well, no. I did a monologue in Religulous.
They might have Confucianism underlying it.
I did a monologue in Religulous about that very subject, which is the people who say, oh, Bill, these atheistic societies like North Korea. And no, those kind of societies, they just replaced the leader of the country for a god. They are not atheistic. When you look at what the North Korean people believe about Kim Jong-un.
Same with America and Trump, honestly.
I completely
the same shit that when he was born, winter turned to spring.
He'll be immortal in the heavens.
First time he played golf, he got 11 holes in one. He invented the hamburger. I'm not making
That's more improbable than a virgin birth.
It is. It really is.
We agree.
I'm not making this up, but they believe that. So don't tell me North Korea is atheistic. They're not atheistic.
But there is in China at least, and of course in the Soviet Union, there was a anti-Christian movement, very hardcore. Okay, so I guess like what code, and I'm not saying this sarcastically, like what code, what book do you think is best for humanity to live by? I say the Bible.
All right, shut up. That conversation's so bad. Okay, guys. This is crazy. Alright. Gotta kill the fucking birds. Guess my runes are just gone though, because I didn't retrieve them and then I died. Alright. An Assassin's Creed style jump on this one. The last time I missed it. Fucking bird's not dead. Oh my god. Oh my god. Dude, these things are pissing me off so much. Who gave eagles saber wings, like sabers on their legs? Honestly, I guess it doesn't matter now because my runes are gone. Alright, one more try. 5 of these things I need to kill. Go through here. Go on this ledge. Honestly, I guess I can just skip them since I already went over there. Fuck this, dude. These birds are so annoying. They hit so hard. Alright, let me try this shield. Honestly, it might be a good time to stop it. In the castle. Go around here. Sneak up on this bird. There it is. Come on. Come on. Let's fucking go. Where are the other ones? Goddamn birds. All over the place. Okay. This. There's one down there. I don't know, do I need to go down there? Okay. There's Grace there. So I was close. There's 3 over here though. Alright, let's rest at this Grace. Summoning pool. And honestly though, I need to fucking kill these birds. Can I get back there? Or wait, did I actually just fuck myself? All right, let's see what's over here. Oh, wait, this is where I was. All right, well, I'm at the gray, so let's just try to kill these things. Go to hell, you fucking dirty animals. Oh, all right. Oh, I think that's it for me for Elden Ring.
What would you say? No, it's an important philosophical question, right?
I have a book called Not the Bible. I'm not kidding. There's literally...
So not loving your neighbor and not, like, helping them.
No.
There's a lot of good stuff.
Okay, but again...
let me tell you why I'm asking.
You're cherry picking.
Come
on, Charlie.
The story of the Bible is one of love and redemption. There's a lot in the Bible.
Okay, this
it's a story of love.
So
the Old Testament?
Well,
it's been so
I just get
overcooked.
The opposite reaction to catechism, which was the religious training.
We're still talking
museum.
about it. That's rough stuff.
But lie with another man, that should be.
We're still talking
be a
about
prohibition on adultery, because
I took it as a positive, and I said this also. I took it as a positive that at least there is this other person that I see that is undeniable. And again, for all the people who we're losing truth.
Okay,
yes.
Here we go.
I said not a crazy, but a person who acts crazy on the public
stage. Those are two different things, though.
I know, but that's what matters. I also said it doesn't matter what he does in a private dinner with a comedian. What matters is who he's on the world stage. What bothers me about the critiques I get is that they don't acknowledge the points I myself made.
Fair enough. Let me ask you.
No, I don't mean you.
No. But would you prefer him to be crazy in private or crazy in public? I'm not saying he's crazy, for the record.
I just took it as a positive, and I said this also. I took it as a positive that at least there is this other person that I see that is undeniable. And again,
how is that a positive? If he's publicly crazy and he acts crazy in front of cameras and with world leaders, how is that a positive if he's actually like not crazy when he invites you over for dinner though? That's still a negative. That's even worse of a negative because it shows that like he's manipulating you. And either he's a nice guy, but he's just like hanking the entirety of the world because of his ego or whatever, or he's a complete psychopath and he's manipulating you and you're a narcissistic moron who's getting led around by your nose by this despotic leader.
For all the people who we're losing truth. Yes, I was one of the first to say that. We are losing truth. Okay, but I told you the truth. That's all I did. I went there and I told the truth of what happened. Would you?
And good for you.
And they would prefer that I had lied.
Did you sign the Bill Maher Accords? It was like
exactly.
It was like the ratification of a treaty.
But he signed that piece.
I thought that was hilarious.
It is hilarious.
It's like you guys were negotiating.
First of all, the thing I did was so fucking funny. You give me a little credit
to sign the thing?
No, but the whole piece I did on my show was hysterical.
I thought it was terrific.
Yeah, it was funny.
And honestly, good for President Trump for hosting you. And
right.
He had the magnanimity to do that. Right?
And listening. And again, the reason why I was the perfect choice for this was because nobody had been harder on him. So it was a real Nixon to China thing. And by the way, if you don't know what Nixon to China means, you probably shouldn't be commenting on political matters to begin with, my critical friends.
What your meeting, I thought, was a great window into the whole liberal world that shows the Donald Trump that I know.
Like what?
And that I've gotten to know
because of Bill Maher's meeting.
And I just thought it was hilarious when he was, asking you about Iran, right? He'll ask anybody about anything. He loves asking people's opinion. He listens more than he talks.
Right.
He'll solicit opinions. I know it blows people's minds when we say this.
Well, it also blows our minds because then he doesn't do the right thing.
Sometimes he does.
Sometimes he does.
The embassy to Jerusalem.
I gave that whole list. I also gave the list of things that are horrible: disappearing people and ignoring judges and gutting the government with glee. This tariff thing that even the conservative press has turned off on. So, yeah, it was just honest down the line on both sides.
Do you feel?
I just told you what I saw.
You did such a good job, Bill.
Didn't. And I just told this to Harvey Levin.
And now Trump, after you were so honest with him, and you impressed him so much, now Trump stopped deporting people. He stopped killing people, and he was going to do that bill that was going to take away healthcare for millions of people, was going to take away food for millions of people, but Bill Maher was there and he said, "No, Donald Trump, I know you're a nice guy deep down, and this bill is going to hurt a lot of people." And Trump said, "You know what, Bill? We might have had our differences, but you're right. When you're right, you're right. A lot of good people are going to need this health care. So I talked to Bill and I decided that we can't do this to the American people." And then everyone clapped, and it was like the end of Star Wars. What was it? Was it A New Hope? Or was it Return of the Jedi, where they're all standing there and they get their medals? Bill Maher got his medal, shook hands with the Wookiee, and everyone cheered and threw confetti into the air. No, actually that didn't happen. Trump is still deporting people. He's nationalized, or he's federalized the National Guard. He sent Marines into LA to help defend ICE. He just passed a bill that's going to increase ICE by 10,000 troops, Trump's very own Gestapo. And to fund this, he's taken away healthcare from millions of Americans and literally taken food out of the mouths of millions of Americans. Yeah, great job, Bill. Great job. But at least we know that Trump is actually deep down a good guy. He's just going to kill millions of people, but he's a real good guy deep down. Oh yeah, and he bombed Iran. I forgot about that part. Donald Trump bombed Iran too. Bill Maher is such a good ambassador for the left and for the liberals. He did such a good job meeting with Donald Trump. He just hit him with that truth bomb, and Trump could not deal with it.
On the show, I'm proud I looked him in the eye and said, "You're scaring people." I'm proud I looked him in the eye and said...
How did he react to that?
I said I know, but see, that's the thing. I said that the night I gave it. I said, "You're scaring people. Why do you want to scare your own citizens so much?" And I know everybody wants to know what he said. And the truth is, I don't remember.
Oh my
but it
God.
wasn't...
What kind of drugs were you guys doing that night?
But it wasn't, "Okay, I'll stop."
Then you would have remembered.
That I would have remembered. So
I want to rule through fear, Bill. A good leader rules through fear. Have you seen the ones that rule through love? Macron, Trudeau, very weak, very bitch-like, very bitch-made, very weak. And it's the real strong leaders like Putin and Mao. He was a socialist, but he led with an iron fist. Dude, are you fucking kidding me? You literally confronted him and you're stripping away the rights of American citizens and you're scaring them. And his response was, oh, you can't remember his response? This guy's a fucking joke.
I have no illusions that, my dinner with Donald Trump is going to change the nation. But to the haters, it's just like, as opposed to what? Not engaging at all?
That is.
Yes.
It's either me or Gretchen.
Dude, he's a literal, he's a dictatorial sociopath. He's a sociopath with the powers of a dictator, empowering himself more and more every day by tearing down the institutions of this country. And you wanted to appeal to his humanity? He surrounded himself with sycophants. What the fuck are you... Yeah, don't engage with him at all. Unless by engaging, you're going to defeat him politically.
Whitmer with the binders in front of her face. I mean, I feel like I did it better. I went in there, I didn't give 1 inch on what I believe or saying to his face what I believe.
You don't really believe anything.
But, you know, I told the truth about how he's different in private.
Do you think, what do you think about the idea, you going, here's how I would frame it. You going to meet with Trump would be the equivalent of Biden inviting me over for dinner. Meaning, like, is that fair?
Absolutely.
Okay, I don't want to put words in your mouth.
Absolutely.
Why do you think Biden or Obama wouldn't do that and Trump did?
I mentioned that too in the thing. I said, you know what?
You did, but
I said, you know, because look, this was
what
kind of a
Charlie's
guy's
talking
dinner, and Donald Trump is a man of a certain age, of a certain way of life. I just think he's comfortable with the guys. And I also think he loves his wife more than is let on. But like, he just likes being with the guys. And it was a guys' dinner, and we just had a good guys' time. And so, like, I said it, like...
Remember the last time Trump had guy time? When you're rich, they let you do it. They just let you grab them. I just walk up and I grab them right by the pussy. Oh, it's just locker room talk. It's just locker room talk. People overreact. I'm just a guy. Dude, Trump's a fucking freak. Once again, Bill's like, oh yeah, Trump's just one of the boys. One of the boys that's like taking healthcare away from millions of people and literally starving children. He's just one of the guys.
I voted for Obama. I voted for Clinton. But the idea that I could talk to them as freely as I felt this conversation was going is emblematic to me.
Dude, he's literally taking away freedom of speech from everyone. He's deporting people because they're criticizing him, because they're protesting for Palestine. He's not letting visitors into the country if they have mean tweets that are even construed to be anti-Trump. And you're gonna sit there and be like, I felt I could talk freely to Donald Trump? Holy shit. This guy's lost.
Of why the Democrats lose the elections. Because they just don't feel that this is like a real person. And I know it's so weird to say that about Donald Trump, who I've said a jillion times is, you know, a whiny little bitch. I mean, I could go through my greatest hits of like insults, but this was about getting past that and maybe seeing that if we met in person, we don't hate each other as much, and we don't. And I'm sorry, I'm not gonna like pretend that's a bad thing.
No, it's how you heal.
Even though he's doing terrible things.
You heal.
I would say
heal as a country by getting rid of the fascist rot that's destroying this country right now.
Great things, but that's a separate issue. But
I mean, sending American citizens to foreign prisons.
He didn't do that. That was
a
one-liner.
He set a one-liner. You're so forgiving.
I am. That's the Christ in me.
I know, but
it's Jesus. You need Jesus.
Again,
you'll be more
you wouldn't have been forgiving if Obama said it.
Well, let's speak. What did Trump? Trump said that the homegrown ones.
That he says.
You could also argue that if it's an illegal alien homegrown, I don't even want to get too far deep into it. Let's just say you were. I don't think we should ever entertain American citizens going to prisons abroad.
Great, because I mean, you're a student of American history.
I try.
Yeah.
I don't know who Eugene O'Neill is, but...
Well, that's not history, that's the arts. And that's the 20th century. But yes, I'm happy to fill the gaps in your knowledge.
Thank you.
That's a big one. Eugene O'Neill's big.
You're my rabbi.
I would not like...
No, it's like
He's not like just some small guy. But okay, so The Iceman Cometh, another big one. But Iceman, you can see it's not recent. But, I forget now what we're talking about. It's the pot. I blame the pot. Charlie, it's always the pot. You're right, it's terrible. I'm going to quit tomorrow. Not really.
It sharpens your memory.
What do you think would happen if you smoked
Kirk about pot?
Oh, my goodness.
You never did?
No.
Even as a kid?
No.
But this is like sort of my version of the religion thing. Like, maybe you're missing out on the big picture the way I am with Christianity. Maybe, except I've already been exposed to Christianity, and you've never been exposed to Rastafarianism or whatever my religion is.
Only one of those has an afterlife.
But you could, I mean, don't you think that would be a great thing to see corners of your mind that you have never looked into?
Tell me more. What happened? What do you mean by that? I'm not. It's not a game. I want to like.
I will tell you. I'm happy to tell you. I'll put it this way.
I don't want to listen to Bill Maher explain what pot feels like to Charlie Kirk. See if this loads.
Until 3 centuries later, around
Council of Nicaea.
Well, that's even later, but the 330, I think, or maybe that was when the Emperor Constantine declared.
He convened the Council of Nicaea.
Right. Okay. So that's when Christianity becomes the official religion of the Roman Empire. So it took 300 years,
and that's when the Nicene Creed was created.
Right. And in those 300 years,
there were a ton of debates.
First, it was like, Christianity was just persecuted. It
was surviving the first 100 years.
The blood of the martyrs is the seed of the church, was said by Tertullian in 202.
When did this interview take place? And then we're talking about Christianity. It took place 2 months ago with 1 million views. These two should start a podcast together. This just scratches the surface of so much more. Well, that's one way of putting it. That's the nice way of saying this is completely inane surface level drivel that is like middle school level religious conversations that they're having. But 1% don't want these two sides talking like this. Excellent conversation. Yeah, and that's the result of Bill Maher's podcast, normalizing people like Charlie Kirk, the guy who says that if you have a miscarriage, then you should be fucking tried for manslaughter. You shouldn't have no-fault divorces because then the woman could just divorce the man for absolutely no reason. This is the guy, this religious, theocratic fundamentalist is getting normalized by Bill Maher's show. I mean, dude, this is another wing. This is another branch of conservative propaganda. It's insane that this is happening on a show like this that gets 1 million views. It's crazy.
200 years into it, and they were still martyrs. They were fed to the lions, that shit. And then slowly it catches on. The idea that it gets good in the afterlife was very attractive to an empire that was like a lot of slaves. If you're a slave, this is a good deal. And so finally in 330, it becomes the official religion. And then you have the church fathers, Ambrose,
Augustine of Hippo.
Augustine, right, and Jerome, and Augustine is writing in like 430, I think.
City of God.
Yes, he's writing in the city of Hippo, and just the way I don't want to call them exactly press agents, but kind of the way they formed the idea of the church in those early centuries. It was something that needed.
It needed decisions to be made, because our answer would be, which I don't think you'll find overly persuasive. See, I was going to do it right when you were swallowing. Is that when you have something true, you have a lot of bad forces that try to pervert it, and you have to be able to you have to refine it, you have to clarify it. And I mean, the idea of the Trinity was one of the most important one of those debates. Again, you had dualism, modalism, Arianism.
Arianism?
You had Gnosticism, which was a huge debate of the early church.
The fuck is
and
Arianism?
Of course, it was concluded in Trinitarianism, which we would argue. Go ahead.
It's just so much arguing
about
how many angels are on the head of a pin.
That's just that wasn't the arguments were much more consequential than even like
I guess if you believe
eschatology.
If you there's an old saying in comedy: buy the premise, buy the bit. If you believe the premise that he's God and then you care whether the foreskin went with him or not.
The big debate was like, is Christ God? That was the big one. That was the biggest of them all, and it nearly split the church in 5 different parts. And the idea of the Trinity was eventually decided upon, which we believe to be.
In Religious, I went to a Holy Land, and they have the Jesus there because they reenact the whole crucifixion. And so I interviewed Jesus, and I hit him with that about it's supposed to be very proud. They're very proud that they're monotheistic, you know, like the pagan people. They have many gods. These fucking heathens, these savages.
The river, the sun.
Yes, from shithole
the corn,
countries.
the dirt, right?
Crazy people with so many gods. And then you have the Father, the Son, the Holy Ghost. You can pray to the Mother.
The fuck, dude? He's saying that shithole countries are non-Catholic countries? Oh my god, dude. I mean, I know he's like drunk and high here, though. I thought he was trying to like lower the guard of the Catholic that he's talking to. And he's like, you know, those shithole countries. And then he's going to get the Catholic to be like, yeah, those countries are horrible. And then Bill Maher would be like, see, Catholics are racist. But that was actually just Bill Maher talking about his own opinion of paganism. I mean, Bill Maher is such a white supremacist that he hates religion, and he made a movie. He made his entire thing to be against religion. But yet, he's blowing smoke up Catholicism's ass and talking about how great Catholicism is, and Islam, horrible, paganism from shithole countries. I mean, the guy's just such an American imperialist white supremacist that it's really no wonder why he's whitewashing Charlie Kirk like this.
Pagan people, they have many gods. These fucking heathens, these
fucking
savages.
The river, the sun.
Yes, have many gods. These fucking heathens, these savages.
The river.
Dude, he's calling the pagans the savages. And this isn't a bit. This is his actual deeply held opinion. That the pagans are the savages. They're the heathens. They come from shithole countries.
The sun.
Yes, from shithole
the corn,
countries.
The dirt, right?
Crazy people with so many gods. And then you have the Father.
Crazy people with so many gods.
The Son, the Holy Ghost. You can pray to the Mother. I mean, it's just a lot of people involved.
It's one Godhead in three parts. The Trinity's very complex.
So this is what Jesus said.
Oh, yeah. Tell me what he said. Yeah.
He said, and this like stopped me in my tracks for a minute, because it's the kind of bullshit that makes you go, you know, that makes people go, oh. And to me, it went, oh, no. Okay, so he said it's like ice.
It's like water. Yeah, it's in three parts. Yeah. Water, vapor, water, or ice. See, I'm glad I didn't use that one on you. You wouldn't have liked it.
Well, Jesus already tried.
Did he say it in Aramaic is the real question.
But
right?
it's a pretty good analogy.
No, but that's what we would say. It's the same thing in three different parts, right?
But you know, they did add the Holy Ghost like 3 centuries in, because the church needed another
Well,
vote.
no, that's not true.
Oh, it is true. There was no Holy Ghost in the beginning.
In Matthew 4, Christ is baptized.
Bro, that was crazy. All right, let's end this. So, yeah, 3 different gods, but they're all the same thing. So Bill Maher, Religulous. Let's take a look at a clip on this. Let's take a look at the trailer. Why make fun of religion? Bill Maher's Religulous. I want to see a clip. The full movie is online. Religulous clip. I want to see the trailer. Best of Religulous. Okay. Lighthouses are more useful than churches. This would be the best of all worlds if there were no religion in it. John Adams. Christianity is the most perverted system that ever shone on man.
How to share your faith effectively and biblically, to be able to reason with people, learn to circumnavigate or go around the person's intellect.
I mean, you're a senator. You are one of the very few people who are really running this country. It worries me that people are running my country who believe in a talking snake.
You don't have to pass an IQ test to be in the Senate, though.
I'm gonna go in the rapture, and I'm gonna come back on a white horse.
Bill Maher calling out religious fundamentalism in the government, and he met with Trump, who literally thinks he was saved by God and has promoted multiple religious fanatics into his cabinet that think he's also ordained by God to be president. And he says he's just one of the boys.
many things that are in Christianity that are not in the Bible. Like,
I did not realize that Bill Maher's hairline has been this bad for 17 years.
Original sin, immaculate conception, the virgin birth is only in 2 of the Gospels, popes. Are you worried that these things came not from the founders, the people who wrote this book, but from, and this is indisputable, but from men, from human beings who came after? And when I say men, I mean people with penises.
Write your biggest check and send it in. We got people on welfare that's got enough faith to make $1,000 vow and paying it. I want to be in the green, Lord.
What I'm about to say is revelation. I got it on DVD, and I have it on DVD, and you need to get this. Hallelujah.
Get your pics on the street.
I'm gonna go in the rapture, and I'm gonna come back on a white horse.
Bro, who edited this? This is horrible.
I love you.
I don't classify myself as ex-gay. You know, I'm a heterosexual guy who dealt with some homosexuality. But you know what? We can look at creation and say, what's the normal order? A man has a penis, a woman has a vagina. Let's just be blunt. There's no scientific data that proves that anyone is born. There's no gay gene.
And you also discovered the gay gene?
Yes.
This is all coming from the Bible.
Right.
Which you believe to be the Word of God.
I do.
Do you believe in evolution?
You know, first, I don't know. Clearly, the scientific community is a little divided on some of the specifics of that, and I understand that.
I don't think they are.
No, well.
I think they pretty much agree.
I don't know how it all happened.
Actually pushing back a tiny bit?
It couldn't possibly have been Adam and Eve 5,000 years ago with a talking snake in a garden, could it?
I mean, this is the thing. Bill Maher just wants to look superior to his guest. And then with Charlie Kirk, he's trying to build an audience too. But, like, he doesn't actually care about what these people do. All he wants to do is be like, I'm smarter than you. Let me make a movie to show I'm smarter than you. That's why he's, like, targeting the left right now and saying the woke people. I mean, he's 10 years too late. This was, like, the purple-haired social justice warrior was a popular meme 10 years ago. And just now, Bill Maher's still going after it. He's like, I want to make a movie targeting the purple-haired social justice warriors that are the jihadis going against me. Like, he just doesn't care. He just wants to feel superior. He doesn't actually care about solving any kind of social issues. And that's why when he met with Trump, he didn't talk about the theocratic fascists that are basically getting everything they want through Trump presidency.
We're so glad to have you here. Just come and get blessed.
We desire here to teach God's word. We're in a spiritual warfare.
We don't push our beliefs on people, but we do make them available.
The editing is just so bad in this video. I can't watch this. Let's see the trailer.
Bless me, Father, for I have sinned. It has been 40 years since my last confession. We're making a documentary about religion.
Oh boy.
Why doesn't he just obliterate the devil and therefore get rid of evil in the world?
He will.
He will? Yeah, what's he waiting for?
I believe that God wants everybody to be free. That's what I believe. And that's part of my foreign policy.
You're a senator. It worries me that people are running my country who believe in a talking snake.
You don't have to pass an IQ test to be in the Senate, though.
So you would agree that even if a billion people believe something.
Okay, let's put on subtitles. Oh, no subtitles. But CeeLo Green is not gonna like me using his song. Let's skip through some of this.
Not a problem.
Fucking hell.
Jesus.
No.
Gay?
Bro. Fucking The views on here. All right.
Muslim.
Can't watch this either. What's this?
So just let me answer a couple of the criticisms that were leveled at me for making this Insomnia, because I think they were bullshit. And the first one was, oh, Bill, you're such a meanie. Why do you have to go after religion? It gives people comfort. It doesn't hurt anything. Okay, well, other than most wars, the Crusades, the Inquisition, 9/11, arranged marriages to minors, blowing up girls' schools, the suppression of women and homosexuals, fatwas, ethnic cleansing, honor rape, human sacrifice, burning witches,
God.
suicide
This is so painful, dude.
bombings, condoning slavery, and the systematic fucking of children. There's a few little things that I have a problem with.
Holy shit. Bill Maher is not funny. Holy shit, 51 people dead. Anyway, guys, I'm so tired, so I gotta call it there. I can't watch any more of Bill Maher with Charlie Kirk. He's just... they're both so insufferable. I mean, Charlie Kirk, oh yeah, actually, while we're on Charlie Kirk, he's insanely racist. Just insanely racist. Look at this. I have so many thoughts on this that it literally keeps me up at night. Zoran Mamdani eating rice with his hands during an interview. I very sincerely doubt he has to scratch his anus any less than the rest of us, which makes that whole display unbelievably disgusting. Hey. All right, I'm gonna leave it with that. Charlie Kirk is staying up at night thinking about Zoran Mamdani basically like fingering his anus and then putting his fingers in his mouth. That's what Charlie Kirk is thinking about at night. Remember when he said he put in work to have kids with his wife? I don't know if Charlie Kirk is actually as straight as he's letting on. But anyway, we're gonna leave that there. I've been streaming for almost 4 hours now, so I'll talk to you guys later, and everyone have a good morning, night, noon, wherever you are. I want you to have a good one. Thanks for watching, everyone, and hopefully we can beat those goddamn sword-footed eagles in Elden Ring next time.